No, we're good.
Welcome back to Dabbling Dads with your host Kyle and Tyler, here to dabble into just about anything. You can find us everywhere using the hashtag dabblingdads. Thank you for listening. Hope you enjoyed.
Boom. All right. Episode 8 is here. This is our first
Remote
dabble. Thank you for giving me that word there. First remote
We've
dabble
traveled.
we've had. We've only traveled about a stone's throw down the hill to my parents' house, actually. This is my dad, John. He's going to record with us tonight. We had to do it at his house. As you can see, he's making us in our setup look pretty bad. If you can't see, I think we've already talked about we're going to take the video camera and sort of go around and show it. And we might put it at the end of this or make just a little video show.
But your mom says do not show the floor, so you're good.
All right, we won't show the floor, Mom. Anyways, we've been talking about having my dad on here, and we've probably mentioned it in every podcast that I can think of because he's sort of the reason I'm a nerd and into the type of things that we like and do and different things. He was we were talking before, and I sort of just told him, just talk. We're not recording. We're just having a conversation. He's like, yeah, but I'm not used to it, blah, blah.
Just had Father's Day.
But we did just have Father's Day. That is true. Well, with that being said, Dad, one thing me and you have in common is we have both been on television.
That's true.
Yeah, and you were on TV as a young kid.
Yeah.
And then another time after that?
Yeah. When we were young, we just moved back from the States. My dad was in the military, of course, Poppy. And our family was on the Popeye show, which is way before any of you guys know what that is.
What is that?
It's kind of like, people know the Bozo show, which was
Yeah.
a clown who gave away gifts and
This was
crap
Uncle
like that.
Bobo was the name of this?
Honk Bobo's nose.
What year
is the
are we
big saying.
talking about right now?
Oh, it's mid-60s.
Okay.
At
Perfect.
least. I don't know the year by no means.
Yeah.
But there was a guy named Captain Bob who used to be a local wet weather man, Bob Lobertini. He was the host of the show, and then he had a little puppet named Bobo. So he would ask, yeah.
Yeah, I already
The
know.
big joke came around as honk Bobo's nose.
Yeah,
You
that guy
can
was
take
probably,
that however you want.
Nowadays, that guy would be in jail,
Well,
probably be a creep.
he passed
let's be
away. Yeah,
honest.
he's
I
been
don't-
dead for a
yeah,
while.
That's probably good.
But
I'm just kidding. I don't know him.
yeah, so
God
he
rest
would
his
ask
soul.
you questions, and the big thing was you was able to honk Bobo's nose.
So you were one of the kids that got pulled up there, right?
Yeah, he went
okay.
around and told us some
So
stuff.
the second
and
time, I knew in my house thinking about it today, and I knew you were on TV another time, but I could not remember what it was.
I was on a game show, which was on TNN at the time, Tennessee. What was
Tennessee
that called?
News Network.
No, it was TNN. TNN. Yeah,
know.
TNN. Sorry.
Yeah.
It was a local Nashville show, and the game show was called Top Card. And you basically played 21. My sister Maria did hair and makeup on the show, which Maria has done a lot of stuff for a lot of local stars and stuff. But she
Exactly.
was employed by TNN to do the hair and makeup, so she told me about it. I love trivia.
Is this top card?
What was your age?
Hold on, let's see.
What if you had found one with him on there? That would be.
Yeah,
I
I've
see.
actually
Okay.
looked. I've
Rolls
actually
of all
looked.
time. I would be like Jamie.
I've actually looked. Yes, that's exactly the game show.
That
was
is
on.
awesome. I've never seen it. Please
Jim-
let me see it.
Jim Caldwell was the host, and he's been on a lot of paid commercial stuff.
Yeah.
If you know who he is, he was on that. But I won the first round, actually.
But you were in high school or right out of high
No,
school?
no. Me and your mom were married.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that.
She didn't get to go watch us tape that day.
Oh, reminds me of a time you went and saw WWF wrestling down at Municipal or no,
And I didn't
Murphy
take
Center?
y'all.
Was it
Yeah,
Murphy
and I,
Center?
and I didn't take y'all
Didn't
with
take
me.
me. I saw
Or
old school
Ryan.
Undertaker. Like,
Yeah, I
It
took
was
Dan.
TNN, the
I
Nashville
took Dan
Network.
Hart.
the
Yeah.
Nashville Network.
The National
okay.
Network, thank you. But I did win the first round. You answered trivia questions, which
Of course.
Was up
Yes.
my alley at the time. So after I won the first round, I won a fireplace insert. Yeah, I had to wear a
Fireplace.
Yeah.
insert.
Yeah. Actually, we had that. We were living off Red Fox Lane at the time when
Yeah.
I won it. So we actually still had that here.
You won the show?
I won the first round.
Oh, okay.
And which I had to sit out the second round. Then the third round came around. It was me and the person who won the second round. And the question they asked us was about a TV show called 30-something, which is a TV show Kyle's mom watched, but I never watched.
Yeah, of course.
And
So
of
she
course, the
probably knew
question
answers.
they asked, I had no clue what it was.
Yeah.
And he,
Sounds like me on this podcast.
yeah, so he challenged me to, the guy challenged me and I lost the question. So, but it was a fun experience, you know. It's like anything, like, you know, you
That's
got
awesome.
to
I'm glad you
experience
talked
what
about that and Tyler showed that because it clicked in my brain. I knew you had been, but I could not remember
Yeah,
what it was or when
yeah,
it was.
yeah.
But one thing I did just realize is
And
I'm
we're
from a
also
long
in-
line of losers. We both lost when we were on
Well,
television.
one thing you forgot too is that you and your brother were also in a commercial
Oh,
for
yeah,
Sumner
yeah,
Regional
yeah,
Hospital.
Gallatin,
I don't know if we could say that
I
on
don't
there,
know,
but
yeah,
Sumner
yeah.
Regional Hospital.
Yeah, we were
Say
on,
whatever you want.
we were in that commercial when I was in high school.
You know what's so
Yeah,
funny though is when we did that commercial and it was airing, I was doing a commercial for the Cancer Treatment Center. And so actually, I think you were in that scene with me
Oh,
and
we were
Nana.
like sitting in the waiting room.
Yeah, me, you, and Nana. Actually, his grandmother was in the commercial too, and someone called your mom and asked if I was all right because they thought I said I must have done a good
And
job.
Ron was in one also wearing like station camp
Pants,
football
football gear.
jersey, like laying down for their
yeah,
crazy.
and Chance Elkins was in
Oh,
it too.
Chance was in it. That's true. I
So
forgot
we had a
about
bunch
that.
of people in those commercials.
That's
So
hilarious.
we had our
Our share, but
less
like
than
Granny,
less than 15
my
minutes.
dad's
of fame.
mom also like knew she was married to my dad, had 4 kids with him. They got divorced. She married a couple other times and was married to one guy. I know that you don't got to say his name or anything like
Yeah.
that unless you want
He's
to.
passed
Probably
away,
don't.
but I ain't gonna
yeah,
say
but
it.
all right, that's fine. But he had connections to like famous people. Like that would go. They would go work the. What would y'all do?
We
Y'all
would go to
the-
like fairs
Tennessee
and
State
stuff.
Fair
Yeah, my
and-
mom actually. I wish I had a picture of it here, but she had a picture with her and John Wayne. Which
John
is
Wayne and Charlie Pride was
Charlie
also in that
Pride,
picture.
and we, you know, I've met
Yes.
like Charlie Pride, Florence Henderson, you know, Mrs. Brady.
I can pull that picture up. Keep talking.
So we, you
Miss
know,
Brady.
we got to meet some pretty cool people that way over the years. So that was kind of a cool. We had a different type of like childhood.
Yeah, but it's awesome. You
as
have some of the
kids. I mean,
best
we
stories,
got
like-
to see a lot of stuff.
I had
when
some
we
of the
were
best
growing up,
stories
so,
when
yeah, it was
we-
I mean, just look at all the just variety that we just have around us in general.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
You can't
Just, like,
see the
around
rest of the
TV,
room, but like, oh, yeah, just
Just in general. It's
Yeah.
kind of like what we've said just in other times. It's like like whenever we do the dabbling into the other things, like seeing that production side, like now hearing this, like I knew he was on a game show one time, but it's like, then you're like, oh, y'all are in the commercials. It's just you've been around those cameras and things like that.
we've just heard
It's a little
people
different.
see what they wanted to look. I've just,
It's fun.
dude. I was around like a legit camera production at CMT. I really was. Like it was real deal. We were when it aired.
You
remember,
got to see a lot of
when
people
it
through that
aired,
alone.
Yeah,
too,
and
though.
when it aired, we were like the #1 premiere on CMT at the time ever.
Oh,
when that
yeah.
show premiered, like ever. So I was.
And
they
it was-
they were
it-
trying to pump. They pumped money into that season
I
I was on.
Yeah.
And then the next one they really pumped it into it.
Well, y'all
The next
y'all
couple,
beat
they
out.
really pumped it into it.
Reba was holding the
Yeah.
Reba McIntyre show held the
Premiere.
premiere spot for however long she was on.
Redneck
and then
Island season
Redneck
2.
Season 2 blew it
Beat
out of
it.
the water, which was
Yeah.
kind of
Which was incredible.
It was kind of crazy to think about.
It was
but
cool.
That was
Crazy
kind of
experience.
Yeah.
We've done some crazy things. My dad was born in Fort Campbell, Kentucky. Shortly after, moved to Panama.
Yeah.
Not City Beach, Florida. Panama.
The country?
The country. His
Yeah.
backyard was a jungle.
literally.
His first language he learned was Spanish.
Lost that totally.
Came here and
He
moved
can't
to
speak
Chicago next.
Yeah,
right?
we moved briefly to Chicago because
And-
that's my dad had a family
And
there.
his first language was Spanish, so he moved to Chicago and could not speak English at the time.
But now you lost
So-
Spanish.
Yeah, because we
He never
went around,
used it.
but,
Yeah.
If he was around it long enough, I think if he went to
Probably
Puerto
come
Rico
back.
for a year, he could learn it. It's somewhere in his brain.
I need to learn Spanish because I got some Spanish speakers who are
Yeah.
interested in like running cross country and things
I figure
like that.
you would
so
know it.
I don't know it. I can read. My vocabulary is pretty good. Like if they wrote down, I could probably figure out what they needed.
Right.
Yeah.
What they
Well,
were
most
going
of
for.
the time you just learn you try to learn the bad words is what most
So it's
people
been
do.
brought up on here a lot, you know, Kyle's love for movies, and it really
Mm-hmm.
is, and it makes me like respect movies even more and things like that. So his childhood. So I'm trying to piece together. We've mentioned just on here before, you know, about your video store, and I was
Yeah.
calling it a theater earlier because people actually listen to us. They know I
I
remember.
wish I had a
close.
theater at the time. I would have been probably a lot better off
maybe
than we
that's
were
what.
now.
Well, maybe that's what y'all should have tried.
But like, where was
yeah.
this? I
Bowling
guess
alley
the
that time.
time frame or whatever, because we talked
Well,
about many times.
Kyle was young again.
I probably had just
late
been born.
80s.
It would have been 80, around 86, 80,
87,
85,
yeah.
86, 87.
He was really young.
Is there a year on that picture over there? We'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah,
But-
yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Jim
about to
Varney.
say
Yeah,
that.
we can get that.
Yeah, I'll grab
we're
it in a
going.
minute.
But yeah, we owned a video store. Me and a friend of mine, we opened up a place called Safari Video. If there's any local people that were old enough, they may remember it. We were over there across from.
Shelton, who listens, probably will definitely remember it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're probably right.
We lived across from. We lived. We were across from where Date de la Paz is now, next door to where
I
the
always say it
Tennessee
was
Flea
Mr.
Market
Wall, but
is.
It's really where the Mayflower.
Yeah, it's where the rental
vans
trucks
are now.
place is. Yeah, yeah. It used to be Mr. J's and stuff. One of the cool things we got to do, well, two things.
Well, I'm gonna have to pause for a second.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hold on, because this is crazy just how this worked
Yeah,
out.
so-
Okay,
let
sure,
Tyler
sure, go
tell
ahead.
this real
So
quick.
I have no idea. I just know that I saw one time, and I want you to go deep into this
Go in
story.
that cabinet right there.
Yeah, I'll get that too. I know what you're talking about.
And
yeah, go Tyler.
I saw this man at a gas station one time in a very nice vehicle,
Mm-hmm. Right,
with a
right.
very hot woman. But I was probably young, very
Yeah,
young.
yeah, I'm sure.
And Jim Varney, and I love the Earnest movies.
Right.
I loved them for some reason. I guess I felt like they were like an adult movie that I was getting to watch. You know what I mean?
Yeah, a little bit.
But
Far
so
from that.
I've been trying to do our Twitter.
Stupid was sort of scary.
Yeah,
That's the
yeah,
one
yeah.
that I shared on there. So I was just
You'll
going to
love
show you
this.
what do you know about that guy, because I made a tweet because I saw it was his birthday or a reunion or something that just
Yeah,
happened.
yeah.
And they're coming out with a documentary.
Really?
Yes, and it's supposed
That's
to
awesome.
show like his home life and all
That's
that.
awesome.
So all I knew was reply with your favorite Ernest film. Supposedly lived in our town.
Right.
What's a GIF? And some people put different moments on there on the GIF.
Right.
If you click on them,
Sure,
you might
sure.
be able to see. I don't know what
Okay.
it is. But
Well-
and then Kyle was like, "Did you know that my dad knew Jim Varney?" And I was like, "Not at all."
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
crazy.
Well, actually,
I
I'm
can't probably keep that there, but-
Just the universe was ready.
Right
for us.
before we opened our own video store, I worked for a place called Video Warehouse, and that was just a secondary job for extra money. You know, I had my real job, and then just from extra money, we had two young kids, so you just had to. Well, actually, I think I worked there when Ryan was a baby before we got you. Before you came along,
Before
I
you
should
got
say.
me.
Yeah, before we.
Yeah, they got
before
me from the store.
Before the stork left us on the doorstep. I met Jim Varney at that store, first of all. He came in one night, and I knew exactly who he was. We grew up.
Well, this is from he was
some
doing
of that.
commercials at this time point.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. That's from Ernest Says Christmas right there.
All right, what about this one?
That's Ernest Scared Stupid. Yeah.
What about this one?
I can't remember that one.
Ernest Goes to
I
Camp.
think they pull it.
Oh, no.
That's a commercial. That's basically
okay.
from a commercial.
So
yeah.
this is when he was doing commercials right here, right?
No. He actually did a movie
one
called
is this one?
Fast Food.
A couple people did this one where he gets the ink in his mouth.
Yeah, he's
That's
like
either
on a
Goes to
jury.
Jail.
He's on a jury.
Ernest
Yeah.
Goes to Jail, I think, is what that one is.
Well,
He's in a school. They're good.
yeah. Well,
We had a lot of people put GIFs on there. I was excited.
Sure, I got you. He was actually a pretty neat guy. Like I said, I met him first time. I didn't really get to know him when I worked at Video Warehouse as much. When we opened our store, he came in one day, and he became a regular customer at our video store, and he would come in during the day most of the time, and I think it got to a point where if other customers in there, they were kind of like, hey, what was his, you know what I mean, Vern?
No,
Was his
they would
thing,
say
yeah.
that to him.
Really?
Yeah, well, see, he used to do a lot of commercials for Purity. I first saw him.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
The only thing I regret is not getting that signed before he died. That would have been kind of cool.
Yeah, you do have that signature.
I do have this.
Yeah,
this
we
is from a movie called Wrangler Bob. I don't know if he wants to go there. He signed that to our video store, which was kind of cool.
To Safari.
But
It
he,
says, to the good folks at Safari from old Wrangler Bob, Jim Varney.
yeah,
Fry's home video.
yeah. It was
Fast
it was a
food.
movie he did.
That's pretty cool.
Some of y'all know who. I'm trying to think of was she in that one. Tracy Lord. Y'all know who she is?
Yeah.
She was a ex porn star turned actress. Well, she was in that movie with him, and he was all
I
excited.
wonder if that was
about
who I
doing-
saw at the gas station at the Doug's BP.
I doubt it.
No.
I doubt it.
I got it. This girl
I
had
doubt
red
it.
hair. I don't know. Did she say red hair?
Well, the thing with her is they found out with all these movies she was doing, she was under 18, so they had to rip all those movies off the shelf.
Since we're talking about old women, my dad the other day brought up a woman by the name of Brenda Lee. Do you know who that is?
Yeah, she's old country. She's like a singer.
She sang like a Christmas song, I think. It's like
Yeah,
a famous Christmas song. She was
yeah.
like, my dad told this whole elaborate story the other day at my house about how he had her for a date and she stood him up.
I'm sure she did.
She was only
in
like
his
she
brain,
was
he
only
had,
like
in
I think
Joe's
she may
brain,
still
he
be
had her for a
alive.
date.
She may still be alive. She's
If
only
it
like
was-
3 feet
I mean,
tall.
that's
She's
about
a
as
little
far.
lady.
Yeah, that's what
I
he
just
said.
know the Jim Varney story. That's really about as far as it goes. He was a regular. He used to. It started. He coming in late at night.
Yeah,
is where
he
you were going
actually
with that.
started
Yeah.
coming in late at night. I think just because there was less people, and it's usually when I was ready to close the store. I usually work the evening hours, and as soon as I saw him pull in, I would call your mom and say, I'm going to be late. And she goes, is Jim Varney in? I said, yeah, he's coming in. So I let him take his time. He'd come in, lock the door, let him do what he needed while I was, pretty well closing everything down.
It is awesome.
And a lot of people didn't know about him, though. He made his fame and fortune of the Earnest character, but he studied to be a Shakespearean actor. I mean,
and
could
a
you
lot of
imagine?
his stuff, like in a lot of his
Yeah,
movies,
when
he's
he's
done
done-
like real serious.
Yeah, because
sometimes he will.
one thing
Yeah.
I did, and I really
Makes sense.
can kick myself in the butt because I lost it. I did a drawing of him because I like to sketch and draw, and I did a drawing of a character
I'm gonna grab
called
one of those here in a minute too.
it's Doctor. What was it called? Dr. Otto, and it's this guy that had a hand growing at the top of his head.
can
So I
look it
took.
up.
Dr. Otto. So I took a picture. I took that picture and drew it for him, and I made a copy of it. So I gave him the original copy of that, and he signed my copy of it and did a quote from the movie and everything. And that's it right there.
Yeah, Dr. Otto.
Yeah, that's
and
that.
Jim Varney.
Yeah, that's the picture I drew of him right there.
Really? You
Yeah.
don't have that, though.
No, I wish I still had that now that he's gone too.
Did you put all your drawing stuff?
If you love nostalgia, this is what you need to be listening
Yeah,
to tonight.
You have nothing you've drawn.
yeah. I'll find some for you in a second.
Nostalgia.
Yeah, so through the video store, and I loved movies way before then anyway. That's one thing I think I liked about doing the video store when people would come in and they would ask questions about movies. I was able to, the majority of them, tell them what I thought about them.
And we got to watch some crazy stuff. Like I don't know if you remember when we talked about on when we did the Star Wars Dabble, I talked about the Ewok movies, and the reason we got to see
Yeah.
those is because Dad had them at the video store. So
Yeah.
that's why we got to see them as kids. That's the only reason I've seen them. I don't
Right,
know where you would.
right.
I bet they're on Amazon now if you wanted to.
Now, I don't
watch
want to
them.
talk about like necessarily the business part of it, but like what happens? Do you just sell them from the store when they're because obviously when you get the new releases, I remember like movie galleries,
Kind of rotate them out.
30
rotate
of
'em
them
out.
up
Yeah,
there.
well, some
So
of them,
you
if they were
trade
good
them
that I
other
liked them, I kept. We had a lot for a while, a lot of VHS movies, and we were in the business
For
when
a
it
while.
was when it was VHS.
For a while.
So yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway,
No,
it's-
no,
it's
those
just
are
been a while.
mainly DVDs now that he's replaced.
Yeah,
There are some
everything's-
VHSs.
yeah,
like
there's
the old
still some
little
VHS.
rewind,
Yeah.
little rewind fee action.
He
well,
had the rewind machine.
We had the rewind machine. One thing that I did, and my partner probably didn't like the fact, but I never really charged the majority of the people late fees. Especially if they were good customers that came in and rented a lot, and to nickel and dime them to death for, it's $2. I just couldn't do that.
My dad was a nice
in all-
guy. If you
in
don't
all
know
these-
this guy, he's
in
about
all
as
these
nice as they come.
cases, I could have made
that's
a
money.
killing on late fees from Jim Varney. He would come in and take home a stack of this, and I probably wouldn't see him for a couple of weeks.
That's funny.
And what it would be is sometimes his housekeeper, I remember her name was Felicia. And she would come in and rent movies too under his account. But she would bring them back on time, but she would be bringing a Jim's late. And I said, don't worry about it. He spent $30 on rentals. I'm not going to charge you.
So that's cool.
Late fees.
Jim
So-
Varney's cool. I love Ernest.
Yeah.
I think next one's cooler, in my opinion, just because of who
Yeah.
he is. My dad is also a
That movie just happened.
big martial arts fan.
Movie fan, yeah.
Martial arts movie fan.
Of course, it started with Bruce Lee watching movies
Bruce Lee
back
in the
then.
60s and 70s.
And Chuck Norris, of
and
course,
then Jean-Claude Van Damme
which we got to meet, which was kind of cool.
came
Where'd you
around
meet him at?
at the Nashville premiere of Bloodsport.
Well, it was it's when they released the movie on the VHS.
Oh, okay.
So it was like a premiere of the release of VHS.
Of Bloodsport.
Bloodsport, yeah, when that came out, and that was a long time ago
It
too.
says, to Safari Video, the best.
Yeah,
Van Damme.
Really?
Again, he
There you
he
Wow.
to me, at that point, and again, you just never know with people, because I've heard other people that have met him
You've got to use that picture, Tyler.
different
You
on
know
the
which one I'm
street.
talking about.
Yeah, different on the
One where he's
street.
bleeding.
That's one of the best
Yeah,
Van Damme
yeah.
pictures ever. You got to use it.
That's
Yeah,
when
don't hold that for much
that's
longer.
when Chong Li or whatever his name is throws the chalk in his eye and blinds him.
That you can't remember.
Bloodsport.
Yeah.
Sure. I hope you remember it. That was his
I
best
remember. I
one.
mean, that you couldn't remember the name.
That was
of
his
it,
best
though.
one.
That
So,
was
we
kick,
would, you would watch.
Kickboxer was pretty darn good. I like Kickboxer.
And
too.
that would you would watch.
What about Street Fighter?
I love Street
I like
Fighter.
Street Fighter.
dude.
I've actually got
Yes.
Street Fighter,
Dude,
too.
Come on.
Who else is all in that movie? Who's the
Like
main?
famous names?
But
I
who's
couldn't
the
tell
guy
you,
who?
man.
What's the actual character's name? Who's the main bad guy? I cannot think of it right now.
Bison.
General
Bison.
General Bison. That's what it is.
Yeah, that was Raul Julia, who played Gomez Adams in the Adams Family movies.
Yeah, it was.
And
he
he,
died.
uh,
He died while filming.
Yeah,
Street Fighter.
he actually left and did a movie in Mexico and got something and died. I think it was after that because
I
they
think it was in post-production.
because they
of
did
Street Fighter,
dedicate the
yeah.
movie to him at the end
it
of
was
it.
in
But yeah,
post-production. But
Raul Julia.
anyways,
Your mind's
so-
gonna get blown tonight,
so the-
everyone, as they start talking about people and what.
Yeah,
what
so
other
the
movies they're
way
in.
Dad would watch
martial art movie.
martial art movies is like
fast forward.
Jean-Claude Van Damme movies, you would watch all of them
Yeah.
because they were decent. You know, they were pretty good.
Enter the Dragon was good, but
But
I just
the Bruce
you
Lee
just-
movies, Dad would fast forward to wherever Bruce Lee was fighting. Fast forward here. Oh, y'all gotta see this.
Well,
Dad,
I've
it was like
actually
the
seen
50th time we've
I've actually seen those movies multiple times, but just to watch him was pretty incredible.
And
Very
what they would
far,
have to slow the film down to
Yeah, you
keep
know,
up with the guy.
he was in.
Really?
I'm gonna pull this
'Cause it
out,
would
even
just
though
be
we're
blurred.
not at Batman yet. But I'm gonna pull this out. Just
So
for
if
a
you can't
second.
tell, we're obviously going to dabble a lot into Batman here in a minute, but I sort of wanted to just introduce my dad and sort of let him tell a little bit of his backstory, who he was, and then we'll get into Batman and you'll understand sort of where
Yeah,
we're
We'll get
so-
there
from.
when we get there.
Yeah. So
Well,
Oh,
one of
I
the
see.
first thing that Bruce Lee, one of the earlier things he did in the United States was the Green Hornet. And we'll tie this in
Really?
because there was
Kato.
an episode where the Green Hornet and Batman and Robin ended up fighting each other.
Because there's like a seasons, right? So I kind of learned that.
Yeah.
We'll get in there.
Yeah, we'll get in there. But what Kyle was saying about slowing the film down is that he was literally so fast that they had to have either slow the film down or even asked him to slow down so they could actually capture that on film. So it's crazy.
yeah,
But yeah.
he was good. He was good, but yeah, that's pretty cool. Got to meet Van Damme.
Yeah,
I'm
that
sure
was
it was right in the middle of his cocaine days. He
Well,
was a big
I
fan
think it
of
was
the
earlier
booger
before.
sugar.
I think it was pre that because, like I said, he was super nice.
Well, that's sort of what took him off. It was Bloodsport what sort of catapulted him into
yeah, because he was in
Superstar.
that no treat, no surrender.
No Retreat, No Surrender.
Which was
yes.
before that, and I saw him in that because we had the movie come out, and we ended up getting that invitation from the company we bought our movies to go to the premiere, and I want to think it was an old theater which is closed down now. We were at, and we actually got our picture made with him, but the company that did that never sent it to our store, and it was kind of funny because he goes, "Let's do a kick," and his foot's way up here, and mine and David's are just barely off the ground, So it was kind of cool. And his wife at the time that was there kept telling him to do to the splits because he's known for his Chinese splits.
Doing the
doing
splits.
between
Was she foreign also?
yeah.
Yeah, of course.
I forgot what her name
Sure
was,
she was
but yeah, she was
hot.
she was pretty. I do remember that.
I'm sure you do.
Bruce.
But it was cool. But see, he also introduced a new movie that was coming out after that was Cyborg, which is not one of my favorite Van Damme movies. I do have it because I,
course. You have all
started
of
buying all
them.
of his movies except for some of the later
I'll tell you the
ones.
one I like that sort of fits into our genre of things. It's called Double Team with Dennis Rodman.
Yeah,
Double.
It's called Double Teams with Dennis,
Dennis Rodman. I think
He
that's one
gets-
reason why I did not like it.
He gets
Dennis Rodman.
so he gets like they wrongfully accuse him or something. He ends up in this high security prison where you have to like put your fingerprint on this scanner every so often. It's like, I can't remember how. It's like every 30 minutes or every hour you gotta put your fingerprint on this thing to show you're still in the room.
Like
And,
Lost.
correct. So he ends up escaping and he ends up teaming up with Dennis Rodman. Dennis Rodman's like a typical sort of bad / good guy in the movie type deal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a terrible movie, but I do like it.
Never seen it.
It was one. It was one of
I
the
think I
first
watched
movies
it
I
once,
remember. It
and
was
if
one of
I
the
would
first movies
only
I
watched
remember
the movie
being
once,
rated
it's
R.
probably I really didn't care
It's
much
one of the
for
first
it.
movies I remember being rated R and being like,
Now,
I'm
again,
watching
I'm
this.
still,
I don't care. I'm watching this because the Bulls were huge. Dennis Rodman was on the Bulls, and I'm like, I'm watching this.
You know,
movie,
I
so
was
watched it by
kind of
myself.
excited when I saw that Van Damme was going to be in. I think it was Expendables 2.
Oh yeah.
Just because I was hoping, that he would get another restart to his career after
Well, have you
about
ever went and
killing
watched any of
himself.
that JCVD?
I watched
show he
it.
did?
Yeah, I mean, I watched the one where it was just that one movie called where he was like not doing anything. They were being held hostage,
Well, I think
and
he
they were
has,
all
like, a
looking for him to do
miniseries
something.
called that. I think he has a
Oh, I
series
haven't seen
called
that.
too.
I haven't
I may
seen
be
that.
wrong on that.
Yeah, but I'm.
Just like most things I say.
Man.
So I gotta say this.
I told him he
just because
needs to
I just
start
remembered in my
phone.
brain.
Yeah.
But Tyler must show his new haircut.
Oh yeah, my mullet, my curly mullet. I might have had it too long on the top.
No, that's it.
Oh, it's down. I think I got some treatment or something I'm gonna put on it that's gonna make it.
Well, the last time last time y'all put out, you had more of a full beard than this is the first time you.
No. Last one I was almost clean shaven,
Oh,
but
okay.
it's coming
It's coming
back.
We need a table just like this table though.
Take
You're
it.
probably right.
Just
You can
like
take it.
Really?
Oh, really?
I wish I would have brought my truck. You think we can get that in the trunk?
Yeah, this is actually.
Yeah,
I'll bring it to your house
We're at least gonna
tomorrow.
try.
I got a
Yeah,
truck.
Perfect.
Yeah, this came from Nana's house. So.
Erica's gonna kill me. Perfect.
No, we'll clean out.
Well, look, you can stand it up and put it out of the way, and then put it out there. It's a good table. You can paint it, or you can cover
we've
it
had
with
this
a.
thing for a long time.
It's been around. This used to be up at Nana's house, so it
a
ended
lot
up
of
down
old
here.
stories in this bad boy.
We'll find out things always end up at our house that we don't
All right.
need or come with.
Cool. Well,
Sorry,
Go
I
ahead.
don't know what I was just saying. All right, for I think I just epiphanied Michael Keaton right here.
Yeah.
that's all right. Let's get into Batman.
All right, well, so I'll say on our Twitter because we've been doing better. Everyone go follow us at Dabbling Dads. I've been doing like more polls.
We got 200 followers as soon as we got here.
Yeah, I think so.
That's
So
pretty
awesome.
good.
Shout out to
we
them.
haven't really promoted this in any of our personal pages or anything. Just strictly through the Dabbling Dads
and
account.
Very tight circle friends, basically.
and
so.
and our real close friends. I don't know who they've shared to or who they haven't.
You can share.
I think we've gotten a lot more views. Please share it if you're listening. But I think we've gotten a lot more views than I expected for sure. We're not, I know people like personally that you go look at their YouTube page and they have thousands of views. They do the Twitch thing and that type of stuff. We didn't do this to get views, but we've been getting way more views than I ever thought.
That's
It's pretty
cool.
cool. Yeah, and we've gotten some positive feedback. Tyler sent me a few of the reviews on the podcast page, and it was pretty cool to see like people being like, "This is what we need right now." Like two guys just being positive, hanging out, having open conversation. It was like, "Oh, that's pretty cool." That's someone we don't know. It's literally a random.
Yeah, it's just people, and
User.
you get in now on the Twitter and things like there's different groups and other podcasts, and everybody's like working together and stuff like that. So we might venture off onto someone else's podcast sometime soon.
Yep.
But anyways,
Nice.
so I did a poll and we had 38 votes on there, and it came down. I just asked who has played the best Batman the best, and I said tweet in your write-ins because you can only do 4 choices. So the 4 choices I gave, I left out Affleck. I put
Batfleck is what they call him. Batfleck.
so it was Bale, Keaton, Kilmer, Clooney, and then some other people wrote in the like Kevin Conroy, who was I guess the
He's the
animator.
voice. Yeah, he was the voice on the animated.
But Michael Keaton won 55.3%, then Christian Bale 42%, and then Val Kilmer 2.6%. It looks like George Clooney might have had like 1 vote. And I finally watched that movie again, and
You know what's funny? The guy who's
Well, this is the George
who's the original author of Batman? What's it? Or who
Bob
created it?
Bob Kane is the.
And Bob Kane said who played him the best though.
He did say that George Clooney played
Yes,
the best Bruce Wayne. He didn't
Yes.
say the best Batman. He said
Oh,
the best
that's
Bruce
Bruce
Wayne.
He said he portrayed Bruce
Yeah.
Wayne as he
That's he
closest
wrote
to
it
what he
to.
saw in his when he
Yeah.
wrote him, which
Well,
I thought was
But
pretty.
George Clooney's a very handsome man.
Well, that was in our childhood. I love George Clooney's
Yeah.
Batman. He's not my favorite. Are we gonna go into who our?
No, we're not
favorite-
going to do that. I
Well,
actually want to
well-
talk about the toy.
Okay, go ahead.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah, so Michael Keaton, you put him out here. You didn't even know about the poll.
Anyway.
To be honest, Michael Keaton, when everyone
This
said
thing's
Michael
old,
Keaton,
too.
y'all will laugh at me at this, and this will be funny because people who know
I'll tell you
this
something
know
about
how
that in
I
a minute.
am. But Michael Keaton, this is sad, and y'all two are both going to look at me in turbo. When I hear Michael Keaton and I actually saw his face, I actually did not think Batman, which is shame on me. I thought Multiplicity Man.
Oh yeah. I remember that.
Well, there was a movie.
But
I
it's
heard
dumber
the-
as they clone.
one of the
it's
first-
like right in my alley of.
One of the first movies I saw Michael Keaton in was called Mr. Mom. And his wife, he loses his job, so he stays home and gets kids. So when I heard he was going to do it, I thought, Mr. Mom, it's like, come on now. But if you look at the 4 movies that I grouped together, which is Batman with Michael Keaton, Batman Returns with Michael Keaton, and then you got Batman and Robin and Batman Forever, right?
So you do group those together because real quick I saw
Yeah,
something.
I always
about
grouped them together. So,
quadrilogy is what it really
yeah.
is.
So out of those
Quadrilogy?
four,
Quadrilogy. Or
those four,
quadrilogy.
Michael Keaton,
Something like that.
tops to me. I think he just did a great job, which is something cool that I just read the other day, and y'all may have it written down, that they're talking about him reprising the role for the movie The Flash, which would be total awesome.
Well, there's two people in the running. It's from what I read.
They're acting like it's Keith.
I read a full thing. I mean, that's what they're acting like. But I also heard Jeffrey Dean Morgan, the guy from The Walking Dead,
I know
who
who
played the guy with the. I didn't watch The Walking
played
Dead, so
Negan.
I'm sorry. Negan. Dad
Yeah, he
watched it.
played Negan,
Boom!
yeah.
I knew he'd nail it.
Oh, this is great.
Yeah, so he played him. You would know him, Tyler. He played the guy that wore the leather jacket and had the baseball bat with the nails
Negan.
out of it.
That's
People
Negan.
dressed as him and
I know.
that Halloween that
I know.
year.
Yeah, he knows. You not watch Walking Dead?
Regardless, from what I read, and then I went and read the comments like I always do.
Well,
just
let
see what
me
people
give you
think.
another trivia thing about him in particular.
Michael Keaton.
Jeffrey
No,
Dean
about
Morgan?
Jeffrey D. Morgan.
Oh,
If you look at the which Batman is it? I just watched it the other day. What's the most current one? I just drew up.
Batman
Batman:
Superman
The
one?
Dark Knight Rises,
Which one was
or
I
Batman
watching?
and Superman.
Yeah, I'll have to look. It'll kick in a minute. Well, if you look at the scene where the parents are getting killed, the dad is Jeffrey Dean Morgan, and the mother that gets shot is actually the girl who plays Maggie on The Walking Dead. So 2 Walking Dead stars in that, and I'll have to. It'll pop in which movie that was.
If
watched it the other
they
day.
played it, it had to be Batman and Superman.
Yes, it's
had to
exactly.
be,
It
yeah.
was Batman versus
The
Superman.
worst one
'cause-
ever made.
Well, I watched it the other day. Justice League was probably. Now I'm looking forward to the. I'm not going to be able to watch it because we don't have HBO Max to watch the. Snyder's cut of that, which I would want to see.
We'll find a way to watch
Yeah,
it.
we will
Yeah, we'll
find a
find
way
it.
to watch that for sure.
So the toy.
We got connections.
Yeah.
Yes.
Back to the toy.
Well, let me tell you what I ended up doing. This thing was all scuffed up from probably years of play.
That's original. We got that when it came out.
Yeah, so I repainted it.
So that's like a 1990
Yeah,
toy.
so I
1989,
repainted it to
1990,
make it look
like
more
that.
new. One thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the cape off.
No, dude.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm going to cut the cape off and use
All you
leather.
people that collect, I know you're cringing right now.
Well, I mean,
But
I already
let us,
painted it over.
Dad let us play with our toys, and he has restored them, and he's got some cool stuff.
But the only reason I'm saying that, it's got mold growing on the cape.
Yeah, get
So
rid of it.
I'm going to cut that off, and we're going to put a leather cape like it was in the movie.
All right.
So it'll be a little bit
So it was a
more.
real leather
Yeah,
cape
cool.
in the movie. But we're gonna dive into these movies.
Yeah, we'll
too.
do that.
But I just want to talk about the toys a little bit too. So I loved.
This is the Michael Keaton Batmobile.
Yeah, I had never
opens
seen
up.
the Batman the movie, the old
The first one with
the first with
Adam West.
Adam West.
Ah.
Yes. I had actually
Ford.
never seen that.
so Kyle let you watch that one. Eh?
Yeah, well, I was
let
actually
him borrow
looking
that
up
one,
clips
too.
and I ended up finding the show. So I watched a little bit of the show and then he gave
Yeah.
me the movie.
But
'cause
how
I
were
needed
you?
to
You
see
were
it
watching them on YouTube.
clips. And
Yeah.
I
I was like,
watched the old
Tyler,
movies on
I have
YouTube
them on
clips.
Blu-ray, man.
But I
You can get
love
Xbox.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a thing on Xbox. I think you can get them and watch them through. I think.
But
could be
I
wrong.
love
Could be wrong.
the back cars and like all the
Batmobile.
little things they were doing, like little helicopter even in the first movies. And then I watched like Batman Begins again, and he just, he has his I guess it's, and we're gonna talk about that when we get there because I have some questions that you might.
There you go.
Oh my goodness gracious! Look at that.
Batbo. Here you go, Tyler.
I love the vehicle.
Well, they were doing $50,000 now.
It was nice.
This is a cool one here. This is
Wow.
diecast. That's the motorcycle from
Did I
the
literally
original.
just break that? Oh no, it comes
No,
out.
it comes off.
Sweet.
Yeah, but there's a bigger one there.
This is sweet.
But those are
And
from
if
the
you watch
original.
Batman, the movie. So I'd never seen it. It's
Yeah.
incredible.
You can just find a place to
I'm gonna
stick it.
put it right
Yeah,
there.
that's fine.
Yeah, and this is the Batmobile. So
Well-
like these toys, so like how did you? So you just bought the toys and kept the toys, knowing just the value?
We got them.
or-
We collected them as kids.
Yeah.
We.
Well, stuff like this, I found out. I mean, I grew up watching. Well, let me tell you, we would come home from school, and instead of doing homework, I found Batman on TV. That's what I did after school every day. Everything like if you see in our basement. We got poles. Every pole I went by was the bat pole to slide down into the bat cave, right?
Oh yeah, I love
So
it.
no
I saw
matter
it. It was
where
like
you're
I flipped
at-
the switch and it changed their outfit.
Yeah,
I love it.
actually what it was, he had Shakespeare's head. He'd flip it back and turn a switch and the bookcase would open and there's two poles that said, it had to say Batman and Robin on it. Everything was labeled on their
I
stuff.
love
they
it,
handed
the
out.
rehydrator machine.
Yeah, the rehydrator. It's all listed, because you didn't know what it was. But you'd be walking down the street and we'd see a pole and run and jump. We always wanted to, have a bat pole in your house.
So I ranked them. I wrote them down. You probably didn't write it down, Dad, but I have them here, and you can read through them and really put it where you would want to put it.
We just gonna like right now we're already talking about the first Batman.
Yeah, we're
so
talking about it. So I'm just going to put where it's at, and then we'll
in
just
your
continue
list,
to.
and we'll keep talking about the old one.
Correct. We're still talking about the first movie. So I'm just as we talk
Batman.
about them.
The Batman.
We're going to sort of just go in order like we did, sort of like we did Star Wars, but this isn't going to be just a Star Wars dabble. We'll go into a bunch of different stuff. Anyways,
Yeah,
just
because we
Star
want to
Wars
talk
Batman.
about villains and how they're portrayed and
of
all
course,
that.
and we'll do that as we go. So, this movie, I just wrote 1970s because I didn't know what year it came out.
1960.
Oh, it was 60 something.
I think.
Oh, okay. So I was-
these
I was-
originals?
When the
I'm talking about from
original
the original.
Batman the movie, when did it?
Yeah,
come
it
out?
was probably
1966.
66.
Oh, okay.
No, 66 was the TV series, so it's probably between the 60s and 70s.
I read something that the movie and the TV series came out the same year.
Really?
Well, maybe I
Well, it
wrote
could've been.
1970s because I wasn't sure. Look it up.
Yeah,
we got
check
the
that.
internet. Anyways,
Yeah, we got
That's where you'll get me is on
so
years
all I
when it
wrote
comes to
down
that.
were the 9 movies where a human being played Batman.
Right.
So I had
1966 action comedy film, 1 hour and 45 minutes, 78% on Rotten Tomatoes.
78 is
That-
not
For a
bad.
pretty good movie. Where
That
it's had a very
that may
fake
be how
shark.
they released it into the, I guess, on television.
Yeah.
I was so young I could care less.
Well,
I was
it's pretty
just
good.
watching Batman on TV. That's all I
Yeah.
cared
It's
about.
pretty cool.
Well, it's pretty good. I had it at number
And I
7.
did realize when you get hit, you don't see the word "pow" or "boom" over your head in a cartoon bubble. All you feel is like, "Oh man."
They're very cartoony and it's written like that. Like
Pow,
the way they
bam.
say
Yeah,
stuff.
that was kind of a funny thing, but
All right,
anyways,
so where do you have it?
I had it at number 7 out of 9 in the movies. I know that's sort of low on the list, but if I'm
1970s.
just being honest, it's for what it is. It's funny. You laugh at it. It's decent. But as far as Batman movies go, it's towards the bottom of my list. I had it at 7. I don't know where you would
agree
put
with
it,
that.
Dad.
No, I
I'd
agree.
say
It's down
probably
on the
pretty
bottom.
close.
Yeah. I mean, out of comparing it to all the other movies that are a little bit.
Yeah. So
about a lot
those
more
are
better
good.
than
It's
that was.
real cheesy. My brother.
I mean,
while we're
I bought the DVD, so
Yeah. Well, while we're talking about
still
the
like
toys,
to watch it every now and
my brother was obsessed with. I don't see them.
Robin.
Are they? Do you have that one?
Yeah, right here.
Yeah. So he had. My mom has pictures from Christmas, probably 19.
We don't have the Batman, but
No,
that
it
is
was
the
probably
Robin.
Christmas.
It was
trying to think
at
what it
Red
was.
Fox Lane.
Probably 1990 or 1991.
Yeah.
91 or
I don't
92.
remember when we
Ryan,
moved in this
Me and
house.
Ryan got these. This.
That one's the Robin. That's not
Batman
a.
and Robin.
I don't know what
And,
happened to the Batman.
Yeah, obviously. But yeah, Ryan was obsessed with that toy. But
Yeah.
anyways, that's where it was at. I mean, it was okay.
Yeah, we got
If you
pictures
watch
of him. He's holding them like this with the death grip
I
on.
mean, there's been
Batman.
people that sort of,
Yeah.
what was it? Was it SNL that the ambiguously gay duo was
Yeah.
on? Yeah, they were sort of making fun of the cartoon.
Yeah,
Like that
yeah.
era of cartoons.
Yeah.
Which was there's
So,
sort of,
when we were
if
young, you
watch
had the
that one,
Super
did
Friends
you
and
not
all
get
that
sort
stuff
of a
was kinda fun.
homoerotica vibe between Robin and
Batman, his
Batman?
ward.
No, I just think the way that it was.
I sorta
written-
did.
So I just watched it for the first
I
time.
know.
So I had this different, and I'll just be honest. Ever since we've been dabbling, I listen with so much more purpose. People know that. And now that I realized I was taking in almost too many podcasts, I think I'm gonna do a little something on the side where I just
Watch
send out
movies.
a thing, watch movies, or just send out a thing where it's like, these are the things I listen to. Here you go. Go listen to them. That's
funny.
But anyways, way too much. So
Yeah,
I watched it
I
for the
never-
first time,
never
but I
thought of
watched it
Batman
with
and Robin
purpose. I
as
was like,
being
that's
gay
Adam
or
West.
anything.
Now
I'm just-
I watch the who actually is who when they do the beginning
Right,
of the movie, so
right.
I can remember these actors' name.
Right.
It's because we all know I remember close enough. But I love the movie. I took just some notes of big things that I wanted just to talk
From
about.
the
We're talking about
60
Batman the
movies?
movie.
Okay.
We're gonna talk villains. Hit your first one real quick. I'm sure you'll probably get to that.
Yeah, I was gonna say something that I thought was interesting about it. The first thing that I noticed was 4 bad guys. Mm-hmm. So I don't know, and then it's like I started thinking, I was like, oh well, mostly all the movies have like 2
Yeah.
later on, but they did 4, and it was interesting because it was Catwoman,
Joker.
Joker.
Penguin.
And
Riddler, yeah. And
Yes.
those were the main ones that you would see in the TV series. Now they had other ones, of
That's
course.
one of your favorite Jokers, right? Cesar Romero.
Cesar Romero. It's just
Whatever
because
his name is.
that's how you saw him in the comics and things like that. That's what it. I mean, they did a good job of
Yeah, I
making
know
it
that.
look
I
like
knew
it.
that was one of your.
And that's why I
favorite
like
ones.
Jack Nicholson. I know we'll get to him later, but
Yeah.
the,
Soon.
the two kind of went hand in hand, except for Jack Nicholson being a little bit darker than
So who did you like
Cesar
best out of
Romero.
that, Tyler? Out of those four?
villains.
Yeah, I remember thinking the Penguin was like he was watching it when I was older. He was like all in on that role. I really all of them were.
Which
Yeah,
know
I had to
that-
look up and see if he was a person who was in another role. I did look up the Penguin.
Mickey.
He looked familiar to someone, but
Mickey, the trainer of Rocky. That's who it is.
yes, of Rocky.
Is that really
Yeah.
who that is?
You are right, because I did.
What a great
Because I did
call.
look it up. I looked it up. I was like, I'm gonna ask him.
I did
Yeah.
not realize
Yeah.
It
that.
is him. You're right.
Yeah.
You are right. Because
Burgess
I did look it up,
Meredith.
and I couldn't remember.
Yeah,
the name.
Burgess Meredith is his name. Yeah.
Incredible.
Of course, he's been
Burgess
other
Meredith
things,
right
but yeah,
here, yeah.
he was.
The Penguin was
And
the
you
one
talked
who
about-
seemed like the mastermind, but I like the Catwoman because she played her role pretty well.
Me and that's
Now,
what we
was,
talked
was
about
that
this at
Lee
work today.
Merriweather? Lee Merriweather
Um,
player in the movie.
Lee Merriweather played Catwoman.
Yeah,
there was three, you
Yeah,
said.
there were three actual
Yeah.
Catwomans during the series. One was Eartha Kitt, which was in one of the Jim Varney movies. Was talking about Ernest
that's
Scared Stupid.
Oh,
that's my
she
favorite.
plays
also
the
in
little
Holes.
witch woman.
Yeah, she was also in Holes, the movie Holes.
She plays the witch doctor in
on the
Holes,
top of the
little-
hill or mount or whatever it is.
She's the one that
Who does?
puts the curse.
Eartha Kitt.
Not the woman that was in the movie.
Not the one there. Yeah.
She played, there was three different Catwomans that
Catwomans.
played it in the series.
And then Julie Newmar, who was my favorite, just because she was sexy as crap. You know, she was pretty bad.
I'll be honest, the one thing that bothered me about the Joker in that movie was his mustache.
Yeah, you could see it under the makeup. Yeah.
It
But
did
that-
bother
but that's
me a
Cesar
little bit.
Romero.
But I love there was some the magnet on the thing, and he's like he uses the little sonar, and then the
Yeah.
Joker's like he must be using this sonar. It's like
Yeah.
the
Sonar
following you
blocker.
along. Yeah.
Or to me, the funniest or the most goofiest thing is there when Batman's climbing out of the
Water.
helicopter and the shark, the big rubber
Yes.
shark's on his leg. Robin, give me the back shark repellent.
Yes.
So Robin climbs down and it says back shark repellent
He's
on
got
it,
like
and he
four
hangs
of them.
upside down. Yeah.
Oh,
And
yes, I
sprays
love
it, then all of a sudden this thing falls and it blows up in the water. You know, it's always it's so cheesy. It's just good.
Holy
You know, it's
Long
good.
John Silver, a pirate periscope.
Yeah.
That's why your brother loves Robin so much because he probably thought he was the funniest thing he's ever.
Well, you remember in the Batman and Robin with
Chris O'Donnell.
yeah, the first one where he goes, "Holy something," and he goes, "What?" And he goes, "There's holes in this thing," you know, because he always used holy
puns.
something in there.
Look at this. I literally put that. It's in Batman Forever.
Yeah, Batman
And
Forever.
I have it written right here. It
Incredible.
says, "Holy rusted metal, Batman."
Yeah.
He goes,
It
"What?"
reminded me of the first Batman movie I wrote
Yeah.
down.
He
said
But
there's
actual
rust.
holes this time, or there's like actual
yeah,
holes in
yeah.
the metal or something.
Yeah, because
That's
he's
crazy
always
to remember that.
using puns.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's always holy something, and
Holy
it's all
something.
related to what's happening to him.
Yeah, that's fun.
It cracked me up. There was maybe one other thing on here that I wanted to. Oh, I love that they kidnapped Bruce Wayne, not knowing he was Batman.
Yeah.
At that time.
Yeah.
It was pretty interesting. But the other thing that I thought was crazy was the Riddler, because I love, and I'm sure we're talking about Batman Forever.
George
I
Ger-
love
George
the
Gershwin?
Riddler and Batman Forever is like my favorite.
Oh, Jim
Of all time.
Carrey.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
looking.
he does it good.
somewhere over here.
Yeah,
too.
I saw it back there.
We're gonna talk about. There's
Yeah.
gonna be a Riddler in the new one, and the kid that's playing him is good. I'll let you look him up when we
can't
get
wait.
there. But yeah.
So,
we're gonna talk about that towards
but
the
I
end.
love the Riddler's message he wrote on the rocket, and then it was a serious fucking paragraph up there in the sky. I almost had to pause it to read the riddle.
Yeah.
Golly,
Yeah, it's
it
like,
was
what
so
the
cool.
heck?
But the whole time watching, I was like, for 1966, this looks like a play.
Yeah.
Like a play at a theater.
Think
Yeah.
of the scene where they're
But
on
it's
that
pretty
big
good.
boat and they're really like they filmed that on the water somewhere. Like,
They pull
Oh,
up. It was so
they-
funny.
they
I
film
texted
stuff.
you and I said, "I'm sorry, John." I texted you and I said, "Oh, instead of going to the Batcave, they had to go down to the pier where they're shooting the video."
Yeah, yeah. And he runs around with that big bomb, and or he's gonna throw. There's a family of
what'd you
ducks
say?
can't go there.
the
You
bat
never
boat
can
is
have a-
parked at the freaking local marina.
Yeah. That's what, and then if you notice, they slide down poles to get down to where the bat boat was too. So I always love to
I
slide
love
down
that they have the
poles.
little switch to the instant change switch.
Yeah,
I think is
yeah.
what it says.
You might think sliding poles. When me and Ron were down here playing as kids, those poles are what we would slam each other's heads
Yeah.
against when we were playing WWF.
Oh,
I know.
man, I used to
I
hang
can
out
hear-
outside of 31W Barbershop on the pole that didn't go up and pretend to climb it, and it felt good.
I cannot believe you just said
I'm
that.
down 31 W pole, climbing up it with my legs, bro.
You makes me about drop my drink.
I know what I'm talking about.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Crazy.
Anyways,
Oh, man,
pretty
I'm sorry.
good.
Batman Forever. So I don't really know how to rank it. I obviously
classic.
would rank it
So,
down near the bottom. But
I had it at
was
7.
fun to
The
watch.
next movie was 1989. I did write it down. Batman, with Michael Keaton. You can
Where'd you
name,
put
you
it?
can name everyone else. I should say that, Dad. You're right. It's number 5 out of 9 for me.
Number 5.
Yeah, and I know for some people, like obviously Michael Keaton got Best Batman, so some people be like, number 5, what? But I got my reasons. You know, I got the way I like movies and stuff. And when I watched this movie back on Blu-ray, and I don't know if you went back and just turned it on to see it like I told you to do, which you should
Talk about the
have.
makeup.
And then I watched on YouTube.
The makeup is bad on Jack Nicholson's face. Like you can see the lines where the prosthetic is on his face. Like the lines are bad. When you first see Batman and he's standing at the top of the building, you just see a shadow turn and like walk into the darkness. Do you remember at the very beginning? It's like a shot from over Gotham, and you see a shadow, and then he just turns and walks.
It's
Dude,
definitely bad computer.
They
Bad
didn't
computer
have computer generation, so they tried to like a Walt Disney method draw. It's animation.
It's pretty bad.
It's awful if you watch it on
gotta pay
Blu-ray.
attention.
It's bad, but
But I say I put that still a little bit higher for me just because it reminded me a lot more of the Batman I grew up watching as a kid.
yeah, and I get that. I get that for sure, and that's why my list is a little different because you watched Batman different than I watched Batman.
Yeah, yeah.
So I liked that
Just
one.
the age
When
deal.
I was a kid, it would get to when it got to the point where there was a lot of talking going on because there's a point where there's a lot of dialogue going on between Bruce Wayne, who played the female,
In which in
The
the first
original.
one, Kim Basinger.
Kim Basinger, yes. Who played
She played
who
Vicky
played
Vale.
not Two-Face? What's his actual name?
Who played Harry?
Harvey
Harvey Dent was
also Rocky.
Billy D. Williams.
No, it was Billy D. Williams. It was
Yeah, it was Landau
Landau
Calrissian.
Calrissian. That's right. Why did I think it was?
And
the
then they
guy
changed him from a black
Why
guy
did I
to a
think
white
it was
guy.
one of the guys from Rocky for some reason.
No.
I don't know. I thought it was Clubber Lang for some reason. Not Clubber Lang.
You thought it was what's his name? That's in
Apollo
the
Creed.
Mandalorian.
I thought it was Apollo Creed,
Yeah,
yeah,
got
but
it
maybe
checked.
that's why I have those mixed
Right,
up.
yeah.
They sort of remind me of each other, but yeah, that's right. Lando Calrissian
Yeah.
played him. That's
Yeah.
weird. They never took that character to Two-Face.
Yeah.
They used him as Harvey Dent in that movie.
Yeah, in the first one.
but never took him as.
And didn't really have a lot to do with the movie.
What's
Jack
Harvey
Nicholson
Dent
also.
in that movie?
In the first one?
Yeah. 'Cause I'm-
Lando Calrissian.
No, who is he in the movie? I must have missed his whole.
He plays
character.
I mean, he's like a.
You see, he's like you can see him
He's
promote.
like-
He's running for something like
Is it
just
DA
like in
or
the
something
other
like
one.
But
that.
really, isn't that movie? There's only
Maybe
one
the
bad
DA.
guy in that movie, right? Isn't the?
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
not a bad guy.
He doesn't
never
turn in
becomes
it.
Two-Face. That's what I'm saying. They never turned him to
So,
Two-Face. He
but I
just
have
plays
that
Harvey
written down.
Dent.
So
Yeah.
this movie, there's only one.
Bad guy in the
Bad
first
guy,
one.
right?
The
And that's
Joker and
the
his
Joker.
cronies that run around with him.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So I had that in there, and I thought that made me think similarities to The Dark Knight, even because technically that movie only has one bad guy. And
Yeah,
it's the Joker
Falcone.
again.
Falcone is sort of one of them in there.
Oh, Falcone. Yeah, I know
which
what you're talking about.
he's a recurring bad guy in all
Yeah.
the movies. He's
Yeah.
like the head gangster
Yeah.
of Gotham, so he's sort of recurring.
But that movie was directed by who?
The first one was that Joel Schumacher did the first
No.
one?
No, it wasn't.
I don't know. I can't
We
think.
all should know it. It's the same guy who did Edward Scissorhands.
Tim Burton did the first one.
No, he did.
No, he did Batman
Batman
Returns.
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 That's
Yeah.
why it was a lot
I gotta look
darker.
it up,
I
man.
can look it up.
That was a lot darker.
It says it says director Tim Burton, Batman.
Oh, he did. I guess he
Maybe
did do
did.
the first two. Yeah. You're
Well, look
right,
at that.
Tyler. Good job, man.
Yeah, I see
You
what
were
you're
sitting
saying.
here
Jack
trying to brag
Nicholson's
on
You
us.
stumped us. You stumped
Yeah,
us.
so he did. That one was not. It is darker than I remembered it being. It goes through that time period where there's a lot of dialogue going on, like I said. But the next one, are y'all done?
No, I'm not. I want to ask a question real
Oh,
quick because
okay.
he'll know.
Yeah.
So in that aspect, is that Joker more like the comic book Joker than the Joker we get with the Dark Knight and
Like
even
with
the
Heath
Joker?
Ledger. Yeah, I think
Like
Jack
it's-
Nicholson is more
Jack
like.
Nicholson's more because it was crazy to me as my
Or
wife
let me put it
loves-
this way: it was more like the TV series Joker, and then more like the
Batman the animated series Joker, which was
with
Mark Hamill.
Mark Hamill
In
doing
my
the voice
opinion,
for
the
that.
best Joker. I was going to talk about
With the
that later,
voice,
but
voice-wise, most definitely.
he had the best
Yeah,
Joker voice
the,
in my head is
what's his name
Mark
is
Hamill.
not what I remember as the Joker in the comic books.
Yeah,
Heath Ledger's
He's
not.
a little on another level.
Yeah, that was
Yeah, we'll talk
to
about
now
that.
to me he was probably
talk about that.
Yeah, A little bit later. Sorry.
Which I liked
that's
about
all right.
that too, just that movie, because my wife loves Suicide Squad, and I didn't really, because I guess I hadn't seen that movie in
It's
a
just
long time or
awful.
something. It is awful, but I mean, like, he falls in the acid in this movie.
Oh yeah, with Jared Leto.
The
I saw
Joker.
HBO Max
No,
is.
yeah, but I'm talking about the Joker.
Oh,
Batman,
yeah,
he
yeah,
falls
at
in the
Access.
acid.
Access.
All
So
that
it's kind of
happens.
like all that, and that's something I saw as a theme through the movies. And you might be explaining this, or maybe because it's supposed to be comic booky, or y'all can help me understand it. It's like they really tell the stories of the villains, because Batman is just already Batman, except for Batman Begins, which I'm sure we're going to talk about here in
Yeah,
a little
we
bit.
will.
But you know what I mean? Like most of the time, it's they're building the villain's character this whole time. In Batman, we all just already know he's Bruce Wayne and
Yeah.
Batman.
Well, they
That's
did
true.
a brief touch back in in Batman, just that his parents died.
Yeah,
and
Tim Burton. That's
what
crazy.
was-
Why did I think Joel Schumacher? Did he do the last two
Tim Burton has such a feel. Yeah, Joel Schumacher did the last two
of the
this.
quadrilogy?
I didn't realize. I just don't know. I didn't remember that he did that.
Tim Burton did
I
the
didn't
first
know he
two?
did
Okay.
The
that.
writer was Bob Kane still, Sam Hamm.
Well, see, there's a
Did
controversy
Danny Elfman
about
do the
that
music?
too. But
Oh, there's a controversy.
Did Danny Elfman do the music?
well,
I don't know if it has the music.
there's a
Composer?
documentary out about where someone claims that Bob Kane was not the creator of Batman. Which that's who I knew it was, and that's who I'm gonna.
Yeah.
That's who I'm standing behind. Is Bob Kane is the creator, but
I hear you. That's cool. Batman Returns was the third, actually, Batman movie.
I like
it was
that
the
one. I
second
thought
in
it
the
was
quadrilogy.
Yes.
if that's what we want to call it.
what's out of that?
I
think-
had that on as number 3 on my list.
Yeah.
Movie's good.
When I just watched it back, it's really good. It's really
And
good.
Danny DeVito did a pretty
Danny
good job
DeVito
as
as
the
the Penguin
Penguin.
is great in that.
Yeah.
I didn't want to say that earlier, but we've sort of been
And
mixing
Michelle
in and out
Pfeiffer.
of them, which is fine.
Look pretty good in the
Michelle
skin
Pfeiffer,
tight.
Yes, I'm
Yes.
picking this up. Is it?
ahead.
Oh,
No.
perfect.
Yeah,
It's-
we're gonna
it's
take
cardboard.
a thumbnail picture with her.
Yeah, the best.
She looked pretty good in the
Catwoman.
skin tight cat suit.
Yes.
You can just set her down.
One
on
of the
ground.
best. No, I'm gonna keep it up here. Tyler shared with me a video. Show it to my dad, and she found her whip from the set and was like, "Look what I found." What'd she say? Just play it. I don't want to butcher it.
Was it
But
was it like a clip that?
that it also
Behind-the-scenes
has
clip?
who plays
No,
the
it's just
mayor
her now.
Let me just say this. I didn't realize this
mayor?
till I rewatched it, but Batman Returns is probably top 3 Christmas movie too. While
I
we're
was
talking
about
about
to
it,
say, is it a Christmas movie? Because
It does take
during
place at Christmas.
but it
It's
came
probably-
out in June.
it's probably
I looked it up.
It's probably top 3 Christmas movie. If you talk about based at Christmas time, it's good. That
You know
movie's good.
Doug Jones, who plays he played Abe Sapien in Hellboy, the real skinny guy.
Yeah, who was
He was in
there?
he was one of the clown guys in the
The one doing all the
Return.
crazy contortionist looking stuff. over
Yeah,
there?
kinda. I think. I mean, yeah, he's one of the guys that are in there. He was
That's
also
pretty
in.
cool. Christopher Walken is in it.
Yeah, I watched Legion the other day, and I forgot he was that creepy ice cream man.
Here it is. This is her.
Oh yeah.
Oh, is this
I
just
don't know if
recently or
there's no
something?
volume. Yeah. I don't know if there's any volume.
Turn it up on the side there.
Maybe.
Yeah, there's no volume.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. There it is.
Yeah, rewind it.
Oh, she can still do her whip. Look at her.
Yeah, she can.
Rewind it.
Oh, so she kept the whip from the movie.
Yeah, you know what's crazy about
listen.
a whip? You know why a whip makes that sound?
Look what I found.
Needs a little TLC.
Yes.
You know that sound that it makes is because literally the molecules at the end of the whip are traveling, breaking the sound barrier, and that's that pulp
That's
you're
wild.
hearing.
That's
That's
pretty
cool.
cool.
Yeah.
We used
That
my
is cool.
my granddad had cattle, and we used to always play with the whip up there. Those things hurt.
Quickie, remember the first year we were going to Comic Con, Adam West and Burt Ward were supposed to be there, Batman and Robin from the original series.
Oh, really?
And
That's
they had to
right.
cancel out, so that was kind of a sucky thing.
Yeah, because
to-
those were 2 you said you would for sure pay
Yeah,
to see.
yeah.
Which we had some cool, Tyler, just real quick while we're on this Comic Con. My dad, the first Nashville Comic Con was that year.
yeah,
Tyler, turn around and
when-
grab that picture behind you right there.
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, the other one.
This one?
Yeah.
We talked about the other.
Yeah, we did. Well, we talked about that one right there. I'm gonna show it, but this was the first year. This was before me and Erica got married, so probably 2014.
Yeah.
2013, 2014 Comic Con. We talked about in the Star Wars Dabble, meeting Ray Park, the guy who played Darth Maul.
Oh, yeah.
I know that's not Batman, but I did talk about that. And there we are with him. He was a pretty cool guy.
He was pretty cool. We can just leave that right here. For right now. We'll put everything back.
Yeah, we'll put everything back when we're done. There's a lot of stuff we could grab if we just wanted to start grabbing things.
Yeah,
I don't
there
wanna
is.
do that.
There is.
But,
no
you said
order.
Comic Con, and then I looked up and saw that, and I remember
yeah.
it clicked in my brain. But anyways,
But
back to
that
Batman
sucked
Returns.
that we didn't get to meet them. is
Batman
what I
Returns sort of goes into Chester Cobblepot. Is that his name?
Yeah.
Yeah. They go. Is it Chester Cobblepot?
I think so.
Oswald.
Oswald Cobblepot.
I think you're going to Chester, whatever his name is from the Goonies.
From the Goonies.
Yeah, it is Oswald.
Chester Cobblepot.
Chester Cobblepot is probably Chester Cobblepot. Dad,
I heard that
At
I
the movie
listened to a
trap.
Goonies
Movie
podcast
trap.
today of someone reviewing it.
That's funny.
And they did say that. And I was like, I wonder
That's
if
cool.
it's the
But
same.
anyways, this sort of goes into his origin story. What's his name? Pee Wee Herman plays his
Yeah,
dad.
plays his dad, Paul Rubens.
Paul Rubens.
Yeah.
I love that movie. It is dark. I would
remember
not
that,
let
man.
Cannon watch that for a while. I know I
That's
didn't
one
see.
Christopher Walken.
I know I didn't. I know I
Christopher
didn't
Walken
see it in
movies,
theaters first time. I remember watching it was at Aunt Yoli's house. I remember first
Yeah,
time I remember that,
yeah.
and I remember being scared of that movie. When they start talking about kidnapping kids, I was terrified of kidnapping because my parents
Threatened he was gonna get kidnapped.
No, before we went to Disney World one time. They like scared me with kidnapping. I was terrified of it. But anyways, that part used to terrify me in that movie.
But then we were also told him that if they kidnapped him, he'd drive him crazy and they'd send him back.
they probably
Here,
would.
take him back.
So who was Alfred
In which one?
in those two we just talked about?
Oh, that's that old guy. I don't know
Yes,
his
he's the
actor's
same
name.
one in the original four.
Hold on, let me see.
Yeah, he was the same
You have to
one.
look up his name. I don't know it.
Michael Goof.
Michael-
Yeah, I'm not
Michael
sure. I don't know who he
Michael
was.
Goff. Anyways, Batman Returns. I had it at number 3.
Dude, I loved it. I texted you right after I said that was a good movie.
It
It
was
is
good.
classic
It was
Tim
fun.
Burton again. But so something that I noticed in there, and you probably watched the movie a bunch. I didn't. This whole time, my remembering. This is why I'm going back and reading the Bible too. And I know I keep bringing that up, but it's true. Like
Well,
things
you're
that you
doing it every day,
misinterpret.
so yeah.
It's almost like the Mendel thing.
Mandela.
Mandela effect we talked about. But it's like, I remember in my head, oh, he's from the sewer and he got lost and dropped off. But then when I actually watched the movie this last time, there's actually this whole huge
His
actual
parents threw
plot.
him into the.
They threw him in there, but
threw him into the
but
river.
when Batman or
Yeah.
our man, he's looking up things, and they look at the newspaper, and this circus has been, disassembled, and they're actually a gang, and he's actually
Yeah.
not in the sewer his whole life. He's actually just this big actual
Yeah.
gang leader, and I didn't realize that until I went back and watched it. It made the movie a hell of a lot better.
Yeah, it's good.
Because it's like, oh, he's really like a smart gangbuster, and he's fooled all these people, and he's about to be the mayor of Gotham. And
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty good.
I know we probably have some Tim Burton, like probably hardcore fans that may
Yeah.
listen to this. I think he has equally as bad as he does good movies.
Yeah.
That's just how I feel about him.
Yeah.
I don't like some of his movies.
Not all of
They're
them.
just weird, man.
They're
They're
weird.
just not
He
down my alley.
portrays it as weird, though. It has that
Yeah.
feel to it.
I
So
slept.
you know it's
I was
him,
like, we were like
which
so
makes
excited
it
when
good.
Alice in Wonderland came out. Like, oh, that looks awesome.
Well,
When
let
we
me tell
saw it,
you what
slept
the-
through the entire thing.
I'll tell you the thing that bothered me about that movie and is something as little and simple as this. If you ever notice, around Batman's eyes are always black stuff around it, so you can't see the skin.
Oh, yeah.
And after when what's her name's about to kill Christopher Walken's character Max
Catwoman.
Michelle Pfeiffer.
I can't. Yeah.
Yeah, Michelle Pfeiffer.
I can't remember I was trying to think of the character's name he played. Max
Max.
Shrek, I think, something like that.
Yeah.
Max Shrek,
Anyway,
you're correct.
when
That's pretty
Michael
good.
Keaton pulls his mask off, tears it away, there's nothing black around his eyes.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
you're
going,
right.
how in the hell does that happen? What
Hey,
is
it's
that?
just like them say, just flip the switch, just like going down the bat pole.
Yeah, so, but anyway,
Cut
so
it.
I
It's
the
guess
magic
they put
of
it on
Batman.
the black, so I
magic
said
of
that's just
Batman.
like, why did they just not keep the black around his
Yeah.
eyes?
So
So
Just
there's
to
a
make it
couple
more
lines.
realistic, but anyway.
yeah, Sam, let's do it.
Well, there's a couple things I want to talk about first. Do y'all know who the image consultant is when Penguin says, could be worse? My nose could be gushing with blood, and he bites his nose. Y'all know
The
who
guy,
that is.
I don't know the
Oh.
actor's name. I know, I've
God,
seen
I'm
him before.
picturing him in my head right
I don't know if I'm
now,
right
dude.
or not, but I'm pretty sure it's the guy from The Hangover who loses his tooth.
No,
I don't think so.
It is. It's got to be him.
No, it's
No.
not him.
We're going to
Looks
say no.
just like him.
Yeah, I disagree.
Both of us say no.
That means I'm wrong.
Like always.
Well, the woman in there is Jan Hook. She used to be on Saturday
Now
Night
you
Live.
did nail that Joffrey's character was in.
Batman.
Batman
Yeah.
Begins.
He's
Batman
his little
Begins.
boy
Yeah, we're
gives
not
him
there
his
yet.
little
I'm about to
gadget
find
thing,
this
whatever
now.
that is. Yeah.
Yeah, who are you or whatever he says.
You're him.
Or
And then
you're
he goes,
him, yeah.
And then he tosses him or hands him his little.
So are those penguins real penguins?
No.
No, I don't think so.
No real penguins at all.
Well, I think there were some real penguins used in that film for sure.
Not the ones with rockets all
Yeah.
strapped to them.
No
Anyways,
way.
Like, I mean,
So
I
there
could
was
be
a-
wrong too.
Hey, by the way, man, I just pulled up IMDb because I should have it up every time we do it.
have it up.
But this is completely off topic about what we're talking about. But The Handmaid's Tale season 4 teaser is on IMDb, so
Yeah.
our wives will be very happy to hear
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I
Angie-
tweeted
Angie's
that
been
also on
waiting.
the Twitter about 9 hours ago. So if
Well,
have
Tyler
Hulu?
runs our Twitter.
Just kidding.
Y'all
If
have
you were
Hulu?
wondering,
And I don't work right now,
and he doesn't work right now.
but I do summer school. But
I didn't see that you tweeted that. That's the first I've seen of that. That's awesome. What were you saying, Dad?
You have Hulu still to watch it?
Yeah, I got it. Oh yeah.
Well, there's something about, I was going to tell you, there's something on there called the Mandela Effect. It's like a movie
On Hulu.
on Hulu. Yeah, you need
Interesting.
to look at
I'm
that.
watching it.
Another thing in that movie, real quick, because I got questions. He says
Yeah.
pistols instead of rifles, but he says the direct approach. I admire that in a man in a mask.
Yeah.
Because he has a mask on. How are we on time? We doing good?
We're at 1 hour. We're good.
What's the last thing I wrote? It's crazy that you brought it up.
Can it be considered a Christmas movie? It is. Probably third best ever.
Yeah.
Okay, so,
I just said third best. We're not getting into Christmas movies. That's a December
but
topic.
like Die Hard.
It's not third best.
Is that a Christmas movie?
Die Hard is a Christmas.
That
movie.
means this is a Christmas movie.
Yeah, I agree. They're set at Christmas time.
Yippee-ki-yay.
Yippee-ki-yay.
So now 2 of the top 3 Christmas movies are about action movies.
Yeah. Yeah.
In my opinion. Anyways,
Oh,
Batman
Lord.
Returns pretty good. I said we weren't gonna go down it like freaking Star Wars, and we're pretty much
Sure,
doing
sure.
that. But that's
That's all
okay.
right.
It
What do you
doesn't
mean?
matter.
Well, no. What was y'all's ranking of that movie?
I had it at number 3 out of 9.
Batman Returns, I think it's up there. I think it's probably my number 3 would be fine with that.
But you put Batman.
So, like,
up-
these
you
movies-
put,
when they came out in
I
theaters,
put
would
the
you-
original Batman at 1 with Michael Keaton for me. Just like I said, because it reminded me of what I saw as a kid. Maybe a little bit better looking costume than the blue tights, or I think they were bluish, grayish tights. What colors he's got on there? Gray tights.
Yeah. Well, see, this is what I was talking about earlier. Like, they at least wore suits. Like back in the day, like Robin was wearing underwear.
He was
Underoos.
wearing. I literally, when I saw him
Underoos.
going down the
He's wearing a
ladder with the
Speedo.
fake shark down there, he had on some just like tights, like they were doing.
Here you go.
Sing along.
Well, that's a little. He's a little bit. Yeah.
Probably too small. But that's fine.
Yeah.
He's gonna ride right there for the rest of the podcast.
That's fine.
Anyways, Batman Returns number 3. That's all your questions. Yeah, you show me the end of your list. After that was Batman Forever. Val Kilmer. I have that at number 2, boys. In my opinion,
Well, here you go.
that is one of my. Yeah, there we go. I'm gonna hold it up there. Oh, this is the comic, but
It's my number 1.
oh, I like it.
Just because of Jim Carrey.
That's backwards.
Not just because of Jim Carrey. After I went back and watched it, I kind of like Val Kilmer's character in that movie too.
You said we weren't going to do it that way. Name our favorite, but Val Kilmer is my favorite Batman.
Oh, well, we're on that movie, and my favorite
Yeah.
bad guys in that movie.
Yeah.
Val Kilmer, man, I think he does a good job in that movie of being a smart Bruce Wayne.
Yeah. Here you go.
Yeah,
Smart.
he uses a lot, and that's
Here you go. If we're showing all the collectibles while we do it, there you
if you look at, or even go back to the thing, I think that's what I liked about Batman over what I call superheroes, because he's not a superhero, because he has no superpowers.
go.
or
Man, that
anything
goes
like
into
that.
my final question. I'm glad you just said
And
that.
he
That, 'cause there's a
goes,
question I want to ask at the
he
end
uses,
for all of us, and you just reminded
because
me.
that's why they called it Detective Comics too. It's because he used.
Well, I'm gonna get into that
Yeah.
also. So yeah.
Well, I'm
Just write it
jumping
down
the
so you
gun
don't
right
forget
now.
it.
I
No,
got-
but what I was saying,
it was
though, is
something
he-
I already had written.
Yeah,
down. I'm
he
just
used
saying.
his intellect to solve things, and then of course he had to
Kick some shit out of
kick some
people.
crap out of some people.
And we learned in Batman Begins kind of how he learned how to do all that.
Ra's al
technically.
Ghul.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
That kind of part.
Ra's al Ghul.
But right now we're talking about
Well,
Batman
he knew
Forever.
part of it, yeah.
Batman Forever, yeah, we are there. For me as a kid, that was the first Batman I
Well, we
saw
saw
in
that in
theaters.
Atlanta.
I was about to say it, and we were in Atlanta, Georgia when we saw
Remember
it. Dude, incredible first Batman experience.
just the color of it and the way they
yeah,
did
dude,
it.
so comic book
Actually
like,
looked
and people
exactly
think it's
like
cheesy.
this.
One of the best scenes in the movie, which is
I mean,
Tyler's favorite.
this is how
villain
it looks.
is when he introduces himself. I used to love when it would get to this party. He's like trying to figure out his suit and costume and whatnot, and then he finally figures it out with this little guy, and he ends up wearing his. He has like one of those old. What was that called, Dad? That's like in Big that turns him into a little boy. What is?
Yeah, just one of those like
or the woman,
Zoltan. It's like a
or whatever.
fortune
It was like a
telling
Zoltan,
machine.
but he had it dressed up
Oh,
like
yeah, like
the
a
Riddler.
Riddler.
Yes.
And
So I'm trying to see if I can find that for you.
my favorite scene is when he finally gets his stuff and they're in Two-Face's lair, and he's like,
here.
he's with dinner. Drew
it
Barrymore
is.
is also in
I was
that
about
movie.
to say that Drew
She
Barrymore
plays
is the nice,
Sugar.
Yeah.
the nice one.
Yeah,
yes.
she plays Sugar, and the other girl plays Spice. I don't know that
Oh, look,
actress.
God, that looks
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like
She's
Drew
right there.
Barrymore.
Yeah, that's
Holy
crazy.
shit.
But I mean that's how the movie looked. The
It
colors.
looks just
and
like
everything.
Two-Face. It is a straight comic book. No wonder I loved it. I
But
don't
when
even
the
read
Riddler,
comics.
comes sliding in and like, dink, puts his thing on there, and like all of a sudden, Two-Face like right in his face with a gun. That's one of my favorite scenes in that whole movie. I love that movie just in general. Me and Ryan loved it because, like, of course, Ryan was my older brother, so he loved Robin. I love Robin. Chris O'Donnell. We already liked Chris O'Donnell because he was in the Three Musketeers that Disney did. I don't know when the last time you saw that was, but it's got a cast.
It's really good.
It's him,
Charlie
Chris O'Donnell,
Sheen,
Charlie Sheen, Oliver
Kiefer
Platt,
Sutherland.
Kiefer Sutherland, and who plays the Cardinal?
Tim.
Tim Curry.
Yes, thank you.
Great cast. Anyways, back to Batman. Robin was introduced in this one. So the way they set it up in him, the Grayson family, they were, if you don't know the story, surely you do, they were gymnasts.
They were like a trapeze artist.
Trapezist, gymnast. I'm sorry, guys. They were a circus act. They were on trapeze. I don't know why I called them a gymnast. But Two-Face shows up,
Kills it.
has a bomb, blah, blah, blah. They die. Anyways, we love that Chris O'Donnell had gotten introduced as Robin, or that Robin was there in general. I remember I was like, they've got to put Robin in a movie. Then we saw it was going to be a Robin, and it was Chris O'Donnell, which we loved as D'Artagnan, like I just said.
D'Artagnan.
It was a good one. You saw it as an adult in theaters
Yeah, it
in
was
Atlanta.
good.
So.
It was good. Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it. I enjoy it. I said a movie has to be really bad for me not to watch it or enjoy it. You
Find
know,
something
it's gotta
you
be,
like in
yeah,
it.
yeah. I can always usually find something. Now I have turned off movies before just because they were really that bad.
All right, so I'm sort of done.
But no, I
talk
really
about
like
my favorite
that.
scene. And
I like
this
that.
is your number one, so I sort of want you to take your list, whatever is on your list.
I just
on
didn't
this
think,
one.
I just like, I like both of the villains.
Yeah.
And they do a good
They were
job.
casted very well.
They don't necessarily do the backstory that much of Two-Face, but they build the Riddler's character. The movie, like, you already know who Batman is, sort of. So in my head, when I'm watching the movie, I guess as a kid, they like build the Riddler's character up from.
It seems like
even
he
the
was
beginning.
Two-Face was
Edward
supposed to be
Nygma.
like a DA.
Yeah,
And someone throws the.
and they kind of just did the story
Yeah,
real quick.
Batman
of him,
tries
that
to
he was
stop the
already
guy from throwing the stuff, yeah.
mob boss or
Yeah.
the bad guy by this time
Yeah,
happening.
yeah.
And then the Riddler, he was just smart or whatever. He did the thing. Is his boss? Who is his boss? Because it made me think
Bruce
of the other
Wayne.
day.
No,
No.
Edward. He works for Wayne Enterprises.
I know,
but
but
he's
Edward
like
Nygma, the one that he
supervisor.
kills. Who's the one that he kills?
I don't know
because
the actor.
it made me think of the guy from the Rat Race that you were saying that I know I'm
Not
probably
John
wrong.
Cleese. Yeah.
Well,
I know I am, but
I know who you're talking
We're
about,
going back
though.
to
And
James
what,
Bond.
he had the big mustache like him, and big white teeth was an ass, and he tied him up in the chair.
He
pushed
tied him
out the
up and had
window.
that little thing, and then he.
The brain
He looked like he
drain.
killed
Was it
him.
called the
Yeah,
brain drain?
Yeah.
Yeah, the brain drain, and he gets so smart. And then at the end, when he's in the white outfit, he has the exact Ace Ventura hair almost. And this is the time where I loved
like
Ace
split.
Ventura.
Yeah.
That gets right in there, so it just
Jim
like
Carrey was
right
on
in
a
there.
roll for a
They
while.
break
was.
in, and it's so funny to me again because I started making those connections where I've seen those movies. So once again, the Riddler's around, and they figure out that Bruce Wayne is Batman.
Yeah, he does that thing.
Yeah, they kidnap him the first time not knowing, but now this time they like know where he gets the brain drain on him.
And he gets in the Batcave.
Which is-
First time you saw a villain in the Batcave,
And
right?
you get to like see Gotham,
And that, yeah.
like where they're out and about. It's like the big circus. Is that's not the movie with the neon guys and they fight them? Is it?
It
They
is.
do-
It's when
yeah.
Robin steals the Batmobile and
Yes,
ends
and
up
he
trying to
goes
help that
down
girl.
there.
Who
Yeah.
are you? I'm Batman.
I'm Batman.
I'm Batman. You're not Batman. You're a kid.
Well, let me tell you what's so cool. When we went to California, we got to go to Warner Brothers, and we did the studio tour, and we got to see the actual Michael Keaton's Batmobile and the actual suits that they were wearing. But we were driving down the street, and the guy showed us. We're talking about the go back a movie to the Batman Returns. The guy showed us. He goes, "That window right there is where the Penguin's sitting in the thing, writing all those kids' names down." He goes, "That's where that was filmed."
That's awesome.
So we got to, go down to some of the streets of Gotham that was filmed there, which was kind of cool.
That's really cool.
That is
Yeah, it brought a
really
tear to my
awesome.
eye.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
I
Not
loved
really,
it.
but it was.
It's like when I
it
went to
was pretty
Galaxy's
cool.
Edge last summer and did bring a tear to my eye.
You got to
for
see the
sure.
big Manillas. Yeah, it was kind of cool though. I mean, being the movie freaks we are to do the backstage tour.
Yeah, I've
and
been to
see.
LA twice now, and I haven't done that once. First
Well, let
time
me
I
ask
didn't
you
get
a
chance.
question.
Second time I was at Disney the whole time.
Which do you think was faster, Batmobile wise? They said.
I think they were slow as shit.
Well, that car was cool in real
This
life.
was the fastest one.
No, the fastest one was
The Tumbler, surely.
the Tumbler. The slowest one was the one from George Clooney's movie.
The
They
last
said
one,
they
the
only
worst one.
they
Remember
only
the
showed
wings
it
would, like,
because
bounce on the
because
back
they
of
had to
it?
go from here to here, and it was the slowest one there. But they said the Tumbler
That's this one
was
behind
pretty
you.
quick. No, I don't have a Tumbler.
No.
No,
Oh, that's
you have
that's the same as that one. That's the same.
You have this one here. That's not the same, Dad.
Oh yeah, I got that tumbler.
Yeah.
No, this one here. Is
That
the same
and
as
that are the same?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess they are. Okay, you got the wings closed.
And you know, once again, that
That one
movie
don't have
also has a lot of different vehicles.
Yeah.
And then the next one has a lot of vehicles too, but that one
Yeah.
has more vehicles too in it that he drives or he has.
Right.
The Batcave, you get to see it when the Riddler actually breaks in there.
Yeah, you get the plane and the boat and the one with
I'm not gonna
Kilmer.
put this on camera, but he has it disassembled back here.
What?
It's
It
just
does
not
have a
assembled. The bat. It was the toy that was
actually
the
goes with
plane.
that one.
It was the plane, but then also turned into the boat. It was sick. The wings popped off.
And they play like Battleship, and I used to
Yeah.
play Battleship with my mom. That's right, and they say just those clever things.
Yeah, he is crazy.
Yeah, when I see Two-Face, it's like that's who I think of too. But I love
Yeah.
the Riddler, and he was my favorite because I love Jim Carrey.
But they said that what's his name really hated Jim Carrey. Tommy Lee Jones through the thing. I just was reading something about that
we
the other
also
day.
our,
They
our
just said he couldn't
Nashville
stand it.
local Nicole Kidman was also the Dame.
Yeah, Nicole
The
Kidman
Dame
was
in distress. I guess she
was
wasn't
the
in distress, but
psychologist.
She was his
so
best
it's
friend
like a psychologist. What was it in the first Batman? There was a
She was
a
a photographer. She did
Photographer, yeah,
photographer
worked
and
for-
stuff.
And then what was Batman Returns? She was
Batman
the.
Returns
Was
was
she a news lady?
trying to think of who
No,
the
she
girl was.
worked for the. She worked for.
Was
It was
Catwoman the
Catwoman.
damsel?
Yeah,
Catwoman was
Catwoman
the
was
damsel.
his
Catwoman.
girl.
Yeah,
Was
she
it
worked
Catwoman?
for what's his name?
That is a good movie. I know we can
Yeah,
go like that.
she
Yeah,
made
that's
that.
good. It's number 2 or number 3 on mine
Yeah.
still though. I like Batman Forever better just because it's not as dark. Like that's one I probably would let Kanan watch honestly.
And
I mean,
then
he watched
the-
The Force Awakens a lot of times.
Oh, we'll
He
wait
can
till we get
definitely
to
watch
George
forever,
Clooney
but-
because that's a different woman in that.
Yeah, that's the next one. So
the woman in that was
Batman and Robin. It is
Batman and Robin.
number 6 out of 9 on my list.
Yeah, she was a model in real life.
Alicia Silverstone?
No, that played the
Uma Thurman?
love interest of Bruce Wayne in that one. You have to look her up. I can't
And
remember
which
her
one?
name. The George Clooney one.
Batman and Robin.
Batman and Robin.
Yeah, I thought it is.
No, Alicia Silverstone was Batgirl.
That's right. That's right. Who was the girl on his arm? Yeah, let me see that. You got it.
They don't even show
let me
her
show real
picture.
quick.
Yeah.
This was 1997.
I think she used to be married to or whatever David Copperfield. To be honest
Who
with
am I
you,
looking for?
whoever the girl
I know who
was.
she
That
looks
becomes Batgirl?
No,
No,
that's
no.
Alicia Silverstone.
That girl's in Clueless, right?
Yeah,
I
that's
think
Alicia
so.
Silverstone.
Yeah, I can
Yeah.
find it
Yeah.
real quick. Which one is it? Batman and Robin.
Yeah.
I got it pulled up, but I just don't know who I'm
Is
looking
it like
for.
Claudia Schiffer or Schaefer? What's
Is
her
that who
name?
it was?
No, I don't know. Remember
Let me see
exactly.
it. I can find it.
I forgot Uma Thurman's in that as Poison Ivy.
Yeah, I like that. Then once again, I kind of
Julie
like
Madison
that character
was
too.
who it was. She played Ella McPherson. That was the
Elle McPherson's her name.
Oh,
That's
Julie
the
Madison
actress.
is who she played in it. I'm
Elle
sorry.
McPherson is her name.
is who
Yeah,
that
that's
was.
someone totally different.
I don't know
than
who
thought.
she is. I thought you would. So.
Yeah, Elle McPherson. I
Oh
can't remember
yeah,
her.
I remember her now.
Yeah.
So is that
He's like,
Bane
Bruce
in that
Wayne
movie?
is-
See,
What is Bane to you truly like? Is it comic book Bane? Like, what is the Bane that's in the newest movie? And we're gonna get there, I know, or one of the newest movies.
The
but-
newest movie is realism Bane.
yeah, because he's kind of smart and whatever, where the other one was he.
The
other one's like
Christopher,
Bomb.
we
Yeah.
haven't said a
Yeah.
single Christopher Nolan movie yet because we're not there yet.
Yeah.
But they're his are like realism Batman.
Yeah, yeah.
The first four were comic book Batman. In
I
my
know,
opinion.
but what is the actual realism? Like, what is the real Batman? Like, is the
realism
whole-
is
the
they ma-
Raw Ghul guy in the comic books?
here's the main
He's
difference,
part of the
Tyler.
whole thing. Yeah.
Could you ever see in one of those Christopher Nolan movies them busting in and ice skates coming out of the bottom of their freaking shoes and then
Fall
ice
clicks.
skating and playing hockey with the bad guys?
See, that reminds you.
That
of
is
the
the
old,
difference.
That reminds you of the old
the
Batman.
the Batman Begins and Batman the Dark Knight and Batman the Dark Knight Rises obviously couldn't happen, but they're filmed as if they could.
Yeah,
I
they
gotcha.
make it more think.
Yeah,
I like
these are
that
comic
possible.
booky in the fact that they're doing things that are not realistic.
Right.
That's true. I like that. though.
Yeah, I like it too. We
But
were
I like the
kids.
other
We were
two,
kids
man.
when we
Well,
watched
see
it.
that,
I mean,
that's why I group them different. I group the four movies at first, then I look
yeah,
at the
they're completely
Batman
separate.
by
entities.
himself.
I look
with
at
the
the
series.
Christian Bale because each actor definitely brings their own little twist to the character, but I don't ever try to compare the Christian Bale movies to these because these weren't made the same way. These were made more of a
Comic book, I guess.
yeah
I know that's
comic
one way to
booky
say
type
it.
of thing
Yeah, that's
where
exactly what it is.
so
But,
I look at those different.
I think that was his goal.
I think some people like Batman and Robin. And I think some people like how cheesy, like,
And some people hate it.
Some people love it.
It's
though.
like
the
both
little
ends of the
porny
spectrum.
stuff.
Like this,
Yeah.
the far end love it.
There's some
The other
sexual
far end think it's terrible.
innuendos too, though.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, they all
Poison
the
Ivy,
nipples.
they
What about the
all
nipples
did.
on the suit? Like we gotta talk about
Yeah,
it.
they-
That's like
they-
it's like
they
controversy
shoulda
when it
left
came out,
those
like,
off. They
why
shoulda
you gotta
left
put
those off.
nipples on the suit?
On
Like I
Batman.
understand the abs and like the contour, but we know the man's got nipples. We all got nipples. Can you milk me?
You might be able to milk me.
Because you can milk anything with nipples.
That's me.
Yeah.
We talked about that
Yeah,
another
it's
night.
funny. Yeah.
Our first night. No, that was Ben Stiller night. That's right.
Yeah,
that's
but
right.
I mean, they should have left those off the suit.
Batman
That just
Robin.
didn't add anything to
Yeah,
it.
then it gets like Batman, Robin, and Batgirl at the end. That movie just.
How come she didn't have nipples?
Did she not have nipples? I haven't looked. I was at
Alicia
the end.
Silverstone.
I'm sure she
I wish
does,
she
but
did.
she didn't have her on her suit didn't have
She'll
them.
forever be clueless with me. I kept waiting for her to
Yeah,
do
yeah.
one of them clueless
She-
dances. What is it? The
I-
rolling with my homie. Rolling with the
You know how
homies.
many times I've seen Clueless?
One time.
Grand total of 0
You've
times.
never seen it?
Me neither.
Never seen it.
Never seen it.
That's not me and my,
Sorry.
me and
Hey,
my
that's
dad.
probably
You know
a
that's
rare
not
thing.
me and my dad's wheelhouse at all.
I know. I
Hey,
like
the only time I
hate-
watch anything like
I
that
do
is
not
if
care for-
Angie,
romantic comedy.
Some people would say this sounds sexist. I know we do have women that listen to this.
Well, let me tell
I
you
just
this.
don't care for chick flicks, man. I like Notting Hill, which is Julia Roberts.
Yeah, but that's
and,
funny too. Though.
Who's the
Hugh Grant.
Hugh Grant?
Yeah,
That
he's
is
also
a-
in that movie like 9 months or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
That's a,
Well,
that
Hugh
is a,
Grant was funny.
I like him.
He had
But The
that word
Notebook is
dry
a good
British.
movie. Like there's some good movies out there. Don't get me wrong, but that is not what I'm choosing to put in. And Clueless, I've just
Well,
never
at
watched.
least with me and your mom.
It's on Netflix
I'll
right now.
watch some
Maybe
of the
me and
movies
Erica
with
watch
her,
it.
and then she watches
Erica
stuff I
would
like.
love
So
it.
we kind of.
She's probably seen it.
I'm sure she.
Well, she
does.
probably hasn't. She
She
hasn't
hasn't seen a
of
whole
those.
lot of movies.
Love you,
has she?
baby. But anyways, that was Batman and Robin. You got anything else on your list about Batman and Robin, man? Any questions?
I just didn't like the part. Drew Barrymore, you already went over. Kilmer, I just like the way he. I'm in the wrong.
No,
one.
that's
Sorry.
George Clooney.
Batman, George Clooney. Oh yeah, I thought George Clooney. I liked it sort of. I think the first time I did it, but once again, I liked the motorcycle race. There's scenes in that movie that I like, but
Yeah,
as a
yeah.
whole,
We
I
didn't
don't
even.
like
The
movie.
one thing I remember about it is back in the day when these movies would come out. I've talked about this before, I think, but like Taco Bell and McDonald's would always
Yeah,
do the Happy
yeah.
Meal toys, but Taco Bell would. These were Burger King, I believe. No, these were Taco Bell.
These are McDonald's, I think.
Were these McDonald's?
Yeah,
They
it's
did
on the
do-
bottom,
They did do pretty cool.
McDonald's.
Oh, it is McDonald's. But anyways, Taco Bell, McDonald's, Burger King would always put out not only toys in the Happy Meals, but like collector stuff. This one is from.
This is real glass.
This is Batman Forever. Yeah, it's their glass. They came out with 4. Yeah.
Yeah, we
These two,
had
and then 2
3
Face
out of
and
the
Riddler.
4,
I don't know how you'll be able
and
to see that.
3 out of the 4.
Oh, that
disappeared.
actually came through pretty good.
it's pretty cool. Don't drop that. Cole.
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
That's pretty
So
awesome.
if anybody has Two-Face or the Riddler, let us know.
Yeah, if you
As long as they're not overly expensive.
Another thing that I had, because I'm just trying to make connections as I'm watching. I wrote
Yeah.
in there, "Girl in Clueless, haha, I'm the worst," because I had no idea what her name was.
Yeah.
I just knew what movie she was in.
Alicia Silverstone.
But what about the part in the Turkish bath? Those characters remind me of Mad Max characters almost. They're bald. They don't really do much. Bane's just like, oh.
That's one of the coolest Batman scenes. I mean, you briefly
With the
talked
neon,
about it. When he
everything.
becomes Bane, that just
yeah.
whatever they used to film
make
that was
him blue,
awesome. Like
yeah.
he's the real scrawny little guy, and it almost reminds me of like the Captain America going into the chamber
But
before he opens.
you're actually
it.
seeing it
You're actually
happen.
watching his body morph and change. The bodybuilder who played him died soon after that too, heart
Yeah.
attack. But I don't know who he was. He was a bodybuilder that played him. He didn't say much, like one word quotes. I don't know if he put any
He
of
was
that.
like, he's probably World's Strongest Man or something if we really dabble into it. Something
Yeah,
crazy.
but
he's
Uma
like,
Thurman was in it. I think that was probably the best she's ever looked, in my opinion. I
Looks
love,
pretty good in Kill Bill.
Well,
In
she,
certain-
she kicks
certain
ass
things.
in Kill Bill.
Well, certain scenes when
those are
she's
some
in
of my
the yellow-
favorite Tarantino movies. We're gonna have to do a separate Tarantino dabble at some point to get
When
some
she's in her
content, 'cause I
yellow
love those.
Bruce Lee tracksuit, and she's about
She's
to kick.
awesome. She's awesome in that. But I love
Lucy
her
Lou's
when
butt.
she
She
comes
looks
up out of
pretty
the ground. She says some things that probably could be interpreted certain ways.
I'm sure.
By very religious
it's
people.
exact-
And it's
oh,
whatever,
yeah.
but She is sexy when she comes up out of the ground and becomes Poison Ivy.
She's like one of them women that.
I love when she's selling herself off and she says,
Oh, yes.
you'll get everything that you see
Yeah.
and everything that you don't see."
Yeah.
It's like $500,000.
Yeah. And he pulls out the bat card. Never leave home without it.
Yeah, and it's got the bat emblem on it. Ching ching.
That's a great scene also. I gotta watch it. I'm
borrowed
glad you
for
brought
you.
those home. I'm
That's
watching
enough
it
monkey
tonight.
business. monkey.
Yeah. Yeah, he don't say a lot.
Everyone shit.
Yeah, while this is on my brain, this is way off subject. Dad, please remind me, or I may need your help changing oil in my lawnmower tomorrow.
Okay.
Sorry. We're here with my dad, so while that's on my brain,
Father's Day, I have
him
my Yoda best dad. I
Yeah.
got
All
given the
right.
movie.
That is our
This
first.
has nothing to do with
Oh, that's fine.
Batman.
We'll dabble off.
Snake Plissken. This is one of my favorite sci-fi movies from Escape from New York
Yeah.
and Escape from LA. So
Yeah, Snake Plissken.
I
I
got
don't know if
this
you can
through
say that or not.
Amazon yesterday. So
Sweet. What movie was that? We're still on Batman and Robin?
Yeah, we were
yeah,
finished
still
up. You
there.
said how
So
hot
that-
Uma
so-
Thurman was.
Yeah. The Bane scene was awesome.
It gets drunk.
Oh no, we're not even talking about. God, we're not even talking about the worst character on the whole thing. I say worst character. The suit was
Some
cool
people
and
love
whatnot,
Oh.
but Mr. Freeze. We haven't
Mr.
even
Freeze.
talked about Arnold Schwarzenegger, but it's so cheesy in that film. Like the suit was cool and his gun was cool and all.
I mean, he was the Terminator when he talked.
Yeah.
Everything was the Terminator. You know?
Chill.
Chill. You know? Yeah, the suit was pretty awesome. I wish we could seen that suit, but there's they got some kind of thing out in California now that's nothing but where they've taken all the old movie suits and everything and have refurbished them, and they got a big thing going on there.
Oh,
that's kind of
pretty
cool.
That'd
Yeah,
be sick to see.
that'd be kind of
I
cool.
love that.
Yeah, Poison Ivy steals the show from.
Yeah, from everybody
Yeah,
really.
She really does. She kills his wife. Well, his wife's pretty much already dead.
Yeah,
but
so
she's in that
I was
chamber.
watching
she just
again with
unplugs her.
intent
Yeah, unplugs her.
details. So is Arnold Schwarzenegger's wife Peg?
Peg from The Office.
Aunt Peg?
No. I'm talking about pure movie right now. Is it Alfred's girlfriend that he can never wife up is actually what's his
Oh, I see
name's
what you're. I know what
wife?
you're talking about because he's the one. His
Because they
brother.
say something
No,
like
her
that.
name's Nora Freeze, because they do mention her name.
Oh, okay.
in the
Because he
movie.
said something you could save a life of someone that yours once loved. So I wonder if somehow she
Well,
was
his brother.
related.
That was it was his brother, right?
Who?
I don't know. We're gonna have to go back and watch that part because it
Yeah,
really
yeah.
intrigued me. Because it was like they said something when Alfred
I think
was
it has to do
dying,
with his brother.
and whenever George Clooney was talking to him, Batman was talking to him. He was saying, or no, when he was talking to Mr. Freeze, you can save a life that one that you used to loved, or something like that.
I,
So
think I think it was the connection is with his brother. Someone.
I'd have to
if you're
look.
listening and you know, comment it.
there's some connection between.
I'm lost on this.
I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna go home and watch it tonight.
Because
actually.
there's watch that part. There's when he's talking
let
to
me
him
see.
when he asks about Hodgkin's lymphoma stage 1
Yeah,
or whatever.
yeah. Oh, he's talking about Alfred.
Yeah.
Yeah, Alfred is sick, but the
Alfred-
connection.
Alfred
I
is
think,
There's
sick.
a connection between Alfred and
the Freeze lady.
Freeze's lady or
Was it his
Freeze
brother?
I think
himself.
he's.
That's the end. That's the very end. They're already.
Yeah,
in,
I think he
prison.
was saying.
There's something you might have to go back and watch it, Kyle.
Yeah, I'm going to. I'm literally going.
because
Now
he
that I'm
does say
thinking through
something
it.
about like that. There's some connection going on there. So
Here, I'm gonna
other
see
than
if,
that,
while y'all are doing it, I'm gonna see if it says anything here.
all right.
That's fine. I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the next one. That's sort of. We'll come back to that if we get there.
Oh, it's what he says. It did actually say this in here.
We got the Batman and Robin straight up.
Yeah, and maybe you can also save the life of the man your wife once loved, which is talking about him. Turn him back into a normal person, you know,
I see what you're saying.
Oh, read it
because
one more time.
because he was a doctor.
Yeah, he was a doctor.
Here, you know,
Wait, read it one more time.
says, and maybe you can also save the life of the man your wife once loved. He's still inside you, buried somewhere deep beneath the snow. Will you help me, doctor?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what he
so
does.
that's what he's
say.
talking about.
So
He's
I
talking about
misinterpreted it as
his-
somehow
his
Alfred
humanity
knew
is what
him.
he's
His humanity
kinda-
is what he's talking about.
Yeah.
So,
That's still a good line, man.
So that movie came out
Yeah.
in 1997. So I was 10 years old.
I was
10 years old. The next movie didn't come out until I was
Definitely older.
17 years old.
That the Dark
10
Knight.
years. What's crazy is
Oh.
from the
7 years
Batman
later.
the movie to the Batman that with Michael Keaton, that was like 23 years. It's crazy.
So Batman. Oh, you're talking about the
Batman the movie
Batman the movie
to
with Adam
Batman.
West to Batman with Michael Keaton was 20 something years. 23 years. So yeah, this one was 97 was Batman and Robin, and then Batman Begins came out in 2005. So I was a junior in high school.
Begins. Yeah.
It's number 8 on my list out of 9, guys.
What's
Batman
crazy is that
Begins.
Fortnite is another thing on the Twitter. So just to give people an idea what we're doing on there, I did a poll on there like because Fortnite is having a movie night. That's how somehow they're doing things to get people on Fortnite. They did a concert, now they did a movie night.
Yeah.
And the movies were Inception, Batman Begins, and Prestige. So and Batman Begins won our poll, which was crazy since we were talking about Batman.
It was okay. I didn't think that when I'm thinking Batman movie, you got to think the last Batman movie I had seen, I was 10 years old. Now I'm 17. Those are two completely different people. But in my brain, when I'm thinking, oh, there's a Batman movie coming out, I'm thinking I'm going to see a Batman movie.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like the Batman movies before.
Like we used to.
And it wasn't that, and I did like seeing him train and that type of stuff. But when he actually became Batman, and the way the Scarecrow sort of was, just wasn't my favorite.
Yeah, I didn't care much for that character at all.
I didn't care much for just how dark it was, and like Gotham was, I guess, what Gotham was supposed to be, like a run-down sort of.
Have you watched Gotham? The TV show?
I didn't watch Gotham.
I didn't either.
I watched it. I watched like
it.
the first 3 seasons of it.
He told me I needed to watch it.
It's good. If you haven't watched that, what I've seen of it is
we
good.
were watching so many other shows at the time.
That's what happened to me. When my work schedule changed.
Yeah, we were working midnights to whatever. So
once my work schedule changed, is when I stopped watching them. But
I mean, I can always still go back.
This is when Michael Caine became Alfred Pennyworth in these movies.
Yeah. It reminds me of the Miscongeniality, isn't he? The Miscongeniality.
Yeah.
I got one right.
Yeah, good job. Another chick flick for Tyler.
I'll chalk them up.
We're gonna have chick flick night with Tyler one night when I'm out of town. Him and his wife are gonna get in here and talk about chick flicks.
Well, she ain't gonna talk.
And someone else.
She ain't gonna talk. I'm trying to think of the dude's name. Liam Neeson was in it, obviously.
Yeah, he played.
That was actually no. He played Ducard. I was wrong. That's who actually trained him. Ra's al Ghul is this guy right here.
Well, if you think of
that guy.
He
becomes Ra's al Ghul.
He becomes Ra's al Ghul.
Because he dies.
The other guy dies and he becomes him, but at the beginning he's not. Katie Holmes is the love interest.
I think there's kind of like a couple different Ra's al Ghul.
Gary Oldman is Jim Gordon. I forgot about that. Who's a great. Sirius Black is another character you would know that he plays. Tyler Gary Oldman.
Oh, he's Sirius Black.
Gary Oldman.
Have y'all ever watched the Arrow series on TV?
No.
Well, see, Ra's al Ghul is a character in it.
Yeah, that's
part of the DC stuff. He's part of a character tying those together.
Tiger putting in his 2 cents.
That's still Tiger over there.
Yeah, he's ready to come out. But
and that's fine. That's fine. We're getting there. We're at Batman Begins. So, Cillian Murphy is who played the Scarecrow.
To rush, though. We're doing good.
We're not rushing.
Who was it? The guy who played Scarecrow. I tried to look up.
Cillian Murphy. He was in Red Eye.
About
Remember
the
movie Red Eye where they're on the
Look
plane? He's a real creepy guy. He actually reprises his role in The Dark Knight Rises.
He's in, I think,
as like the judge.
Look and see if he's in that. What's the movie about Moby Dick with Chris Hemsworth? I think he's in it too.
I mean,
and also
Morgan Freeman is Lucius Fox.
Yeah.
But going back to what you were saying, Kyle, what I thought when I was walking in the movie theater is
28 Days Later. I forgot he's the main guy in that. 28 Days Later. Inception, which you just talked about, he's in. Red Eye. Quiet Place.
Those movie stars must sign up for a deal.
He's the main guy on that Peaky Blinders series on Netflix.
They must sign a deal and they do like 2 or 3 movies together, and usually one of them's really good, and then the other 2 are just like.
He was in those Christopher Nolan films.
Because the girl who played in the Hunger Games.
Yeah. He was in Tron. He was in Tron.
Now that I got you down here, man, I can just name any act. I can just remember what movies they're in.
He knows a lot of them. But that one was okay. It's second to bottom.
But something else. But I went into that movie thinking of it. This is an origin story of Batman.
Yeah.
Where the other movies we're jumping in, because once I saw Batman the movie, it even made it more clear. It's like, oh, this was a whole series. Now they're making a movie which is like a collective.
Yeah,
is what it
because
kind of came off as. And then now it's just like, this is just a story against these 2 bad guys. That's why I want to watch Gotham, because I think it goes through a lot of the comic book bad guys.
Yeah, it does. A whole lot of them.
A lot of their backstories.
A whole lot of them.
Because Batman is just.
Let me say,
Alfred Pennyworth is a badass.
I've watched maybe about 4 episodes of Gotham. That's all.
It's very comic booky.
That's why I didn't say I watched it.
Very comic booky, Tyler, and
not
to the production level of Game of Thrones.
And we went last time we went to Fanboy, the guy that played the Penguin was there.
I can't remember his name.
I've got them. I don't either.
But the other thing about Batman Begins.
Yeah, so it's like an orange story. I love the part how it was like, oh, it's supposed to be for an army person. Then he puts it on. And, it kind of walks through just how he got the Batmobile.
Well, that's what I enjoy the origin story. I enjoy that part of the movie.
You're saying when he got back.
I don't enjoy as he was portrayed. Like, all those people were seeing visions. He was like this evil-looking Batman. It was weird. I don't know. I did not
the stuff they were putting into the air.
I did not care for how the movie ended.
Yeah.
I didn't really like the plot or how it went. Anyways, past that, my number 1 Batman movie was The Dark Knight. The number 1. And it's on the shoulders of Heath Ledger as the Joker.
That's
I mean,
true.
it's one of the best acting roles of all time, in my opinion. It's up there as one of the best. I think it took his life. He got so into getting sadistic and crazy, and to that, whatever he was using to get to that point, it killed him. But it's one of the greatest acting jobs I've ever seen in my entire life. There used to be a debate who was better, but I think if you watch them side by side, Jack Nicholson and Heath Ledger, it's not even close.
Now, I've liked all of the Christian Bale Batman.
I'm going to give my one downfall on my number one.
Yeah.
It's the Christian Bale voice.
Yeah.
Where is he? I can't do it. He talks like that the whole time. And
Well,
I know,
they-
and you explain it. Dad always says this every time. I know what he's about to say. Go ahead and say it.
Well, what I'm just saying is they should have used some kind of if he is tech, he's this big techie guy, or he's using that.
A voice changer.
Why don't you use a voice changer, or
Or just talk normal like he does in the other ones with just
Yeah.
a little deeper tone.
Yeah.
They don't know.
Yeah, I like
Yeah,
that
it's
idea
got
of the voice changer. He has all this money. He's
Well,
getting all this
think
cool
about
shit.
it. If you ever watch the Mission Impossible movies, they got this little strip that he puts on.
Yeah, and he
he always
makes
puts in
anyone's
sounds like
voice.
whoever he wants
He
to
just
sound
pulls
like.
it. He always pulls it off
Yeah,
and throws
just
it.
have it built into your thing that it's changing. You're
But,
changing your voice instead of going like this all the time. That's
where,
that was part of the,
It had the
drawback.
same girl.
but-
The girl character was the same, but the actress was. It was Katie Holmes in the first one, but Maggie Gyllenhaal
Gyllenhaal.
played the female in the second one, and she
Yeah.
wasn't his. She was his old love interest, but she was actually part of the plot was she was dating Harvey Dent, who was the DA.
yeah,
He
and
was
then he
the
finally
DA at
turned
the time,
into.
and then he obviously the Joker kidnaps her
Because Batman Begins, she's like an assistant lawyer for not.
And he's
Harvey
got to
Dent.
choose between which one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like in Batman Forever, he's
Yeah.
supposed to choose.
He's like save Harvey Dent or save her. That's
Yeah,
your choice.
that's kinda
He's
true.
about anarchy.
Right, Batman Forever, he has to choose.
so here's
between-
Batman or the girl, Robin and Chase.
Here's
Dr.
where
Meridian,
I'll
yeah.
here's where I'll
I
give
saw a
him-
lot of
here's-
similarities
Yeah,
as I went back
yeah,
and watched them
yeah.
again. Like, so if you want to, you need to go back and watch the old movies with the new movies because there's some.
Right.
Very similarities, and I'll say how you sort of say they stand apart. I'll use the Joker. So Cesar Romero was sort of the what's the word I would use for him? The like playful maniac
Yeah.
Joker.
Yes. I
Jack
agree.
Nicholson was the like scarred sort of PTSD comic book.
But he was kind of already a gangster, sort of.
Well,
Yeah.
I guess
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
not
he
bad. He
worked.
was all right. That's probably better. He
Jack
was more of like a
Napier
mob
is what they call
comic
him.
book
Jack
style
Napier.
Joker.
Yeah.
Heath Ledger is an anarchist, like anti-establishment,
Yeah.
crazy guy.
Mm.
I mean, he's
I'm gonna make another connection in the Joker, who's Jack Nicholson in Batman. He talks to the board. The Joker in The Dark Knight, he talks to the board of gangsters.
Yeah.
There's
So
some
some
similarities in there
similarities.
because it made me really think about it as
he
I was
tells
watching.
the guy on the
then
TV,
he
"You're
can
not
make a
gonna be able
magic
to
trick.
He
behind."
kills a guy in there. He shakes his hand, and it's like that
Yeah.
animated fire, and he turns into like.
He
the
kills the
ash.
guy
No,
that-
he
remember
kills
he-
the
he
guy
said-
with a pencil in the new one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm talking about
Here, you wanna
also
see a
the
magic
old
trick?
one
That's
with
right.
the
That's right, with his hand.
Handshaker, and it's like,
Electrocutes him.
and he burns up.
Yeah. I mean, it's always. I mean, yeah. That's why I said that's the difference in the two. Is like he said,
Yeah.
the one is trying to be more
And
realistic.
they all have the gangster element of it. Like
Yeah.
they have their main bad guy, but then you got Falcone and who played it in this one? Falcone. I know the guy
In The
my
Dark
brain.
Knight
It was the same guy in all those, I believe. Batman.
or
Begins.
Maroney.
Maybe
In the Dark Knight, his name is Maroney.
is it Falcone's not in those? Maybe not.
I don't know. It says Eric Roberts.
Eric Roberts is Julia Roberts' brother. He's
Let me see
the
him.
one that he
You'll have to click on it.
has him up in that thing, and he goes, "Do you think this fall will kill me?" He goes, "No," and he drops
Oh, he
him and
breaks
breaks
his
breaks
legs.
his legs instead. That's Eric Roberts.
That's in
Character,
this
yeah.
yeah. He's,
I don't think that's
he's
all.
Marconi.
Yeah, he was in the movie Best of the Best.
Oh, maybe he just wasn't in this one. I thought he was. Maybe not.
So also, I love The Dark Knight, but another similarity is in the old movie, he's coming with the bat. Maybe it's the flying thing. Maybe it's the Batmobile. I can't remember. But the Joker has a huge gun. And remember in the new one, he stands in the road again.
Yeah.
He's like, "Hit me!" And he's shooting.
Yeah,
remember in the movie, in the old movie, he's shooting at Jack Nicholson. It doesn't hit him. And he pulls out the gun
Jack
and
Nicholson
blows it.
pulls that big gun out of his thing and shoots. Yeah,
But yeah,
takes down his plane
Now
with
tell
the
me this
little
though,
pistol.
Eric
With a
Roberts.
pistol.
Yeah.
Eric Roberts doesn't play the head gangster in the
No,
Batman
no,
Begins though.
no.
So it is. I think it is Falcone in the first Batman Begins. But all right, that's right. Cause he, that's I know Eric.
He's
Roberts.
the one where he goes into that club and he's beating everybody up
Yeah.
and jumps on the table. That's Eric Roberts'
Yeah, man.
character.
Then in the Dark Knight, he's standing in the road again when he comes on the bike.
Yeah.
This is who played Falcone in the Batman Begins. You know him too.
Come and get me. Or
Oh, I
hit
don't.
me.
seen him.
I don't have.
Yeah, there's bad service down here. But yeah, so I started seeing these similarities in the Joker, which was awesome
Tom
because
Wilkinson,
he
yeah.
talked to Jack Nicholson.
Who's
I
in the-
remember reading that he talked to Jack Nicholson, was like, it can mess you up, whatever, but he went way
He warned him
deep down.
way
in there,
deep. Like
man.
He's
locked
been in a
himself
lot
in,
of
locked
stuff.
himself in a condo by himself. And
Yeah,
did
and
a
I
bunch
think they
of
were
crazy
actually
stuff.
striking each other, which brings me back to
And they
the
said
Batman.
Yeah, he told
And
him.
they
Yeah,
said
he
that-
was telling Christian Bale to hit him. He wanted it to be as real as possible.
Yeah, like the scene where
And
he's
Christian
like, beating
Bale
him
probably
in the
did.
interrogation
As
room.
crazy as he
Yeah.
was.
He
That was
messed him up.
one
One
of the
of the
craziest
great.
scenes,
yeah.
Me and Mike Travis saw that. I know for sure 2 nights in a row, but I think we saw it like 3 times the opening weekend.
that
2
right?
nights.
I
We
was
saw
there
it 2
one of
nights,
the
but you
times.
went to opening night with us.
Yeah, I think so.
But me and Mike went again the next day. It was great. I saw
that
it 3
was
times in theaters.
Where was that on your list?
Dark Knight.
It's up there. It's probably, well, I say it's probably up at number 2 because I said the other one was 3. I didn't
And
get
you
me a
like
list.
the original Batman?
Yeah,
Was your
I'd
number
say,
1?
again, that's just
This one here,
because,
Michael
yeah.
Keaton. Yeah, I sort of thought
That
that.
movie is good.
Yeah.
Now that I'm
Yeah.
really thinking about the Dark Knight and when I made those comparisons,
Yeah,
and
Dark
all that,
Knight's really good though. I mean, it's up there. It's probably the number 2.
I can turn it on and watch it at any
I like the
time.
tech of it. I might watch it
good.
tonight.
It's good.
I love Heath
when
Ledger.
we're done, I'm going to bed because I'm the old guy in the crew.
Yeah,
I'm,
no,
I'm
and
not,
we-
I'm
we're-
not watching
and
any
we're getting
movies after
close.
this.
What are we at? Hour 20?
Oh,
We're
we're
past?
we don't need to rush it though. at the
Okay,
end, but
we're fine.
because I still
Fine.
want to talk
Yeah.
about.
He's awake.
Yeah, he's awake. We're not in Joe Biden's basement. That's all I didn't mean to say.
No, that's all right. We guys, we don't swing from either side of the fence. You should
No,
know that
no.
if you've listened to our brother podcast. But
yeah.
yeah, that was a good reference. Anyways, Dark Knight, that's my number 1.
That movie's good, man.
After that,
that's
we were
really
hyped because like not long after that movie came out, they had announced that Dark Knight Rises was coming. Christopher Nolan also. Tom Hardy plays Bane.
Yeah.
What's her name? Miss Congeniality. No, not Miss Congeniality. What's she in? Princess Diaries is
Right.
what I
I
remember
know what you
from the Disney movie. What's her name? Tyler.
He's looking it up. real
Catwoman.
quick.
Selena Kyle.
I'll tell you why he's looking it up.
Yeah.
The only thing about that movie in particular is the way they had Bane talk.
Sean Connery.
No, they had the way
He sounds like
her
Sean
talk
Con-
turned and there's
it
like really
sounds
where
like Sean Connery.
Sean Connery. Bond. It's pussy galore.
Bond.
I had that-
Since we're on Sean Connery, what is your favorite Bond movie, or who's your favorite?
Yeah,
Bond?
we were gonna say
who's your
it.
favorite
All right.
Bond, because we did that one last time. We thought about
Well, my favorite Bond, I would say now that I've seen every one of all the actors play it.
You've seen every one of them.
Daniel Craig is my favorite James Bond
We agreed, I think.
right now. Now what's
When
so
you hear
weird?
James
though-
Bond, who comes into your head though?
right now, Daniel Craig.
Daniel
right now.
Craig.
Yeah.
See,
But
Pierce
before
Brosnan
those movies
comes in
came
our
out.
head.
Well, see, I
doesn't matter.
grew up when I was
Sean
young and
Connery.
we was watching Sean Connery was James Bond.
I like Sean Connery.
He
And-
is
but
James
it's but
Bond
it's,
in our
it's like anything else though. Each of these actors were different. Like I thought Pierce Brosnan was James Bond, but he was more of a
Suave.
suave or girly James Bond's what I called him.
Yeah, Dad.
Who
My
was?
mom loved Pierce
Pierce
Brosnan. My
Brosnan.
mom loved Pierce
Yeah,
Brosnan,
yeah, my
so
wife
Dad was
does.
not a huge fan
Well,
of
I
it.
mean, I liked his movies. Trust me, I liked the one with him and Halle Berry is probably one of my favorite Pierce Brosnan
that
ones.
was my number 1.
But
Of
yeah, it
the
was.
Pierce Brosnan.
like with the Sean Connery, Goldfinger was the first James Bond I ever remember watching. Loved the movie, and I watched it not too long ago. You know, they always had weird names like Odd Job was the Chinese or Japanese guy that threw his hat and killed
Yeah.
people by throwing his hat at them. You know, really goofy stuff. And then Roger Moore, of course.
So that was your favorite. So Goldfinger was your favorite Bond.
That was my
First you
favorite.
ever watched, I thought.
My favorite Sean Connery Bond,
Okay.
and my favorite Roger Moore was Man with the Golden Gun, which had Christopher Lee was Scaramanga, and then you had
Christopher Lee Tyler is Saruman from
Lord of the Rings. Yeah,
Okay.
who's now
Also Dracula.
passed
Y'all see where
away.
Kyle gets it from.
Also
Day.
Willy Wonka's father in Tim Burton's
Yeah,
Charlie
Tim
and the
Burton,
Chocolate. The
Chocolate
dentist
Factory.
is
The dentist, yeah.
that's him. Same
And then
guy.
the one you were talking about too was talking about the one guy with the little guy, which was Hervé Villachet, which was Tattoo off of
Tattoo,
Fantasy Island.
yes.
He was in the one James Bond he referred to in the other podcast.
But he was different. He wasn't in the one with Jaws though.
No, Jaws
Yeah,
was,
I was wrong about that.
Moonraker with Roger Moore. That's when
cool.
they're up in space.
So who
in the
plays?
space shuttle.
I don't want to cut off James Bond.
No,
but I just want to stay on Pat.
because we were going to
Yeah.
use that.
So anyway,
Batman is.
We got you. Selena Kyle, who played her? in that
Selena
movie.
and Hathaway.
Anne Hathaway.
Hathaway,
God, I
yeah,
couldn't
yeah.
think of that
Miranda's
name.
played by Marion Cotillard.
Is she the one that ends up being Ra's al Ghul's daughter?
Marion Cotillard.
Ends up being Ra's. She's the one that
Probably
stabs him
is.
at the
Yeah.
stabs Batman at the end. Yeah,
so.
It was okay. It was cool. I love the opening scene where the plane rips in half and
Yeah.
the other people plummet and
It's the same
Bane and
with
his guys.
And then Hans Ward is actually in that movie.
Oh, that's a
right
cool
at the
scene where
end.
they
Yeah,
blow
where
up
they're
the
blowing up
football
the
field.
football field. Yeah, he's running and turns around and there's nothing left.
Tom
Yeah,
Hardy's
that was
awesome.
fun.
Tom Hardy's cool as shit.
He is cool, man. So Banes. I just want to compare the Banes real quick. So this Bane is just a story that could have happened, but
He's
the other
intelligent
Bane,
and he's smart and he, still has the strength and
Do you like
everything.
my quote
but-
today I sent with my mask we have to wear at work now? The Bane quote.
yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Yes, I hear you.
No one knew who I was until I put the mask on.
I feel like it was hard. I'm sure to follow the Dark Knight.
Real hard.
I mean, it's hard. I mean, that was.
I went in
hard.
with real high expectations. It was, where did I put it on my list? I didn't even say. It is, I got it pretty high though. It's at 4 out of 9.
I'll be honest.
like
I
it.
was disappointed that it was
Dark
a
Knight
Bane
Rises.
because I always like the villains, and I just feel like it was just
perfectly set up for a Riddler movie.
probably or something. I wanted something.
Yeah.
I wanted it
Want
to be
something
now
more.
back to more comic book or something more, and I guess it just turned into
Well-
this other Ra's al Ghul. The way I saw it, I guess I was making the connection because I watched the other 2 movies before, so it was just like this other Ra's al Ghul that got raised somewhere else going
Yeah.
against Batman,
Yeah.
who's actually the best. He even says it in Batman Begins, "You were my best student I ever
Right.
had," or whatever. So to me, it was just more of like this too realistic, like Mortal Kombat type
Right.
situation
Yeah, well, it's,
going on.
what
Instead of,
happened there
being multiple villains.
Well, if you
and-
remember at
Right.
the end of The Dark Knight, he does not kill the Joker.
I know he does.
Joker doesn't. So I think I
Yeah.
read this a long time ago. I think the plan was for him to. It was going to be Bane. Like the Bane was going to be the Joker's sort of muscle in the situation. Like you whipped me before, and now I got muscle type deal. I think
Right.
that was
Kind of like a
supposed
poison ivy situation.
sort
So
of
instead,
like
they had
it-
to give Bane the brain, and they just
to.
didn't.
He
Right.
had to rewrite it, I believe, is something of that. I think they kept Joker alive on purpose. Like Heath Ledger.
Well,
was gonna
making the
play him
comparison,
again.
the original movie, he falls eventually because he can't hold on to the ladder long enough. and
Yeah.
he
He's
falls
hanging by
down.
his leg in this one, I believe, upside down.
Yeah,
Laughing.
he
But
does-
he
remember
doesn't
he-
fall this time.
No, doesn't.
Yeah, he
fall.
does.
There's
that.
similarities between those movies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very. Oh, a lot.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
good. You should go back and watch
Yeah,
the
I have.
original Batman if
I
you're
have.
listening.
Yeah,
Not
yeah,
y'all.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
If you're
yeah, I
listening,
watched
you
it
should go
recently.
back. It's
Yeah.
worth.
I watched.
I've only watched the original Batman. I didn't recently. I haven't watched any of those other ones.
Yeah. So. But yeah, Dark
Well, I
Knight
had
Rises.
to.
You got anything else you had written down about that or no?
No,
Dark Knight
man, I
Rises,
really
it's-
didn't. I just wanted to talk about the Banes and I like that you
All right.
brought up about the Joker because I wanted another Joker versus Batman because in the comic books didn't they go at each other all the time? Or the series was the Joker like a
He was,
recurring
yeah,
person?
He
he's
was the
right on
main bad guy.
Yeah, they had so many on the TV series.
Batman,
but they were the
Batman and
main-
Robin was the one. There was Batman the animated series, and then they had Batman and Robin, which we had you see the Sega CD game. I've talked about us having the Sega CD.
Oh yeah.
Haven't. I still got
Yeah,
it.
you still got it. Yes.
And it works. It's plugged up upstairs.
Yeah, Sega CD, Batman and Robin, the animated series.
Yeah, we need to
game.
do a video game with your dad too at some
Yeah,
point.
Batman and Robin. But yeah, so that was that. I did add Batman vs Superman. I would like to talk about that movie for maybe 5 seconds because that's all it freaking deserves.
I never saw it.
The
So
only
No.
and that doesn't. I don't know that he disagrees with me, but my only saving grace of that movie was Jesse Eisenberg's portrayal of
Lex Luthor.
Lex Luthor in that movie.
Now, is
I loved
someone had the question? Is he?
Is he
the
Lex
Lex
Luthor's son?
Luthor,
I think
or
he's
is
his
he the
son.
son
I think he's
of
like the
Lex Luthor?
predecessor. I think he's
so
his
is this
son.
where is this timeline wise?
He's older. Bruce Wayne is old, so like
It's the Bat flesh.
Dick Grayson has already been killed. He's dead.
Yeah, because it
Robin-
goes into
Robin
the
is
thing.
dead.
It's got the
He's got
suit
his
with
suit
where
that
the
killed
Joker.
him. Because in the Killing Joke, which you got that.
Yeah.
That's got the graphic novel, but there's also a
Movie.
cartoon
And again,
movie.
this is
dark.
Yeah, let's
an
hear about this for a
adult
minute.
Yeah.
kind of animated movie. It's not like Disney, something you want your kids to watch. Where
Spoiler
you know,
alert! I've already said Robin dies, but this is the story of.
well, it's
How
this
Robin
it's this
dies,
one
it's
or,
the
or
Joker killing.
Under the Red Hood, which is
Is it Under the
where-
Red Hood that kills him?
Yeah, well, I think it's in the Under the. I think this is afterwards. Under the Red Hood is when
Joker kills, but Robin.
Show
it may be in this.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll
where,
show it. I'll
where
show it.
he
I'll
gets beat to death by a bat or a crowbar or whatever. These are just some re-release
Yeah, like even right there, Detective Comics. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
There's
those-
not like
those-
a-
those are
put
real.
that on top. Put that one on top.
All right, we can use this if you're going to say anything about, not this one in particular, because that's not showing it there. If you're going to touch base on the upcoming.
Yeah, that's where I want to go. Batman vs Superman, last on my list. Not good. Maybe I need to rewatch it. I don't know.
Is that has nothing to do with the Snyder Cut though that I've been hearing about, right? That's not the.
That's
Snyder
Justice League.
No,
That's the
Justice
Justice
League
League.
is the Snyder Cut.
Which could have been,
which
which
has-
really
which has-
good. It really could, and it may be after they let him
I hated
put it
it.
back
See,
together.
y'all know so much more about me about cutting. I know they shoot a lot of footage.
Yeah, it's
They
6
just don't
hours.
use
He
a
has,
lot
he
of
has
it.
6 hours worth of footage. I
So
believe is
all
what
that
they
time
said.
that they,
And it's
they
probably a
pay
totally
those
different
actors
movie.
and they're shooting
guarantee
these
it
scenes.
is.
Like I've heard there's even new villains or something. that
Did
weren't
you ever
even
see
in the real
Justice
movie.
League? Did you see Justice League?
No, I'm
They
bad about
literally
that, man.
filmed the parts where they're like introducing the different characters, sorta, and then they just throw a bunch of bullshit in there and try to make a movie out of it. It's awful. I hated that movie.
Well, in Batman versus Superman,
this is
they
Justice
show
League
clips.
I'm talking about. It was awful.
They show little clips of Aquaman and whatever.
Yeah,
When Bruce Wayne finds
and
the
at
little.
the end they have a hint to Wonder Woman, which Wonder Woman was awesome.
Wonder Woman was a good
If you hadn't
movie.
seen that, I can't wait for the new one. The first one was freaking
Gal
awesome.
Gadot.
But anyways, back to I want to talk about the new Batman that's coming. We got new Batman, so that's my list. I'm gonna go down it just top to bottom. Well, maybe I shouldn't. It doesn't matter because we all talked about it. I'm not gonna go through my list.
Yeah.
Who cares about my list? Anyways, there's a new Batman coming called The Batman, is what it's gonna be
That's
called.
what it's going to be called.
It's gonna be called The Batman.
Is the new Joker
Because-
movie called The Joker, or is it just
Joker.
called Joker?
Joker.
Because there's some
Have not seen
debates
it.
between all of that.
Well, the reason why they're calling it the Batman because that's how he was originally
well,
called in the
well,
original comics.
well,
oh, he was.
But Tyler is right though. It is
And it
called
was-
Joker because he is not the actual Joker.
Yeah,
I don't know who's gonna play the actual Joker, but it's not Joaquin Phoenix. Joaquin Phoenix is who is the inspiration for the actual Joker.
yeah, that's what I've heard.
Yeah.
Well, if you look at the
I think
comics,
I probably heard that from you. I'm speaking like it's truth, and I probably heard it from this guy right here.
well,
I can't
see,
remember who the clueless actress is.
see how they always have
Friends.
Batman as one word. In the
But that's-
original one, it was the, and then Bat.
So-
Like
I
the
think
original
man.
comic book.
So
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
What is
I'm
the
gonna-
what is the what? I'm sorry. What is the lowest number? Like this one has
Well, I don't
a
know.
stock behind it.
Well,
But I'm
no,
saying what
actually,
he-
actually, the original one's like number 38 or something because it's
This
not
is
it's
number
not like
38.
oh well that's something else. It's one of the other ones.
So
Those are
this is called Batman 66, Dad. So that show Tyler's right. That was in the 60s.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
DC have it's
man.
called Batman 66 Volume 1.
yeah. See, I got these because this
Those
is
are
based on
those
what I
are
watch. Like,
reprints, but
okay, here you go. This is like Cesar Romero, Julie Newmar. They had Batgirl, which was she was pretty hot. Von Craig, who played her in the TV series.
She got nipples.
If no, well, I'm sure she does, but not on her
Or
costume.
Batsuit. He don't
You
have
have
nipples
nipples?
on his
Yeah.
costume in the comic books.
But anyway, this is based on the stuff that I watched as a kid. So
That's
they just
awesome.
really
But
kind of
anyways, I'm
jumped
gonna go
out. So I thought
the
it'd
new
be
Batman.
Okay,
The new
new
Batman movie. I'm going. We keep scattering off. We start talking about something, then we scatter off in another direction.
New
It's gonna be
Batman.
not in line at all, but that's all right. Who cares? The new Batman. I'm
Dabbling.
gonna read through the. Of course.
or babbling.
Yeah,
Dabbling.
babbling.
Oh,
We
this
should
is
probably
good.
should have been the babbling dads. Probably better.
We were
But
rocking the
anyways,
This is how all of our conversations.
so the Batman.
go, so,
Robert
okay.
Pattinson is obviously playing Bruce Wayne in Batman.
Which I kind of had concerns about,
Well,
but I'm really
we're gonna
excited
get,
about.
I'm gonna
seeing
get
it,
to
though.
why I'm okay with it.
Well, he's in that new movie Tenet that we keep talking
Yeah.
about, and I didn't even realize that till the other day.
And well, okay, since we were going to talk about Robert Pattinson, it was called Detective Comics because in the original he was solving cases. He was a detective. There, from what I've read,
millionaire
I've read. I tried to read up.
Millionaire detective. Okay.
Yeah, I tried to read up on this. Like, this movie is going to be more digging into his like. I thought surely there's going to be fighting and whatnot. There's got to be, but it's going to be more of his like detective type work. From what I understand, we'll see what it's like. Robert Pattinson's playing Batman. Colin Farrell is playing the Penguin, the guy from Phone Booth, and he played.
That'll be good. He played
So
Bullseye
I'm
and
guessing
Daredevil.
the Penguin. Do you think who he played it? What?
Bullseye and Daredevil.
We
And
should have warned everyone.
he's Disney's guy right now, the dude I was telling you about. He's the one that
Oh.
was
He
in
was in-
Saving Mr. Banks. He was in Dumbo, and now he was in the one we just watched, Artemis Fowl.
I haven't
Fowl,
watched
yeah,
Artemis
see it.
Fowl yet.
So, I forgot what I was gonna say.
We're talking about Colin Farrell when he called out Bullseye.
It was before that. I can't remember. Just keep going.
I don't know. Anyways, Zoe Kravitz, which is Lenny Kravitz's daughter.
Jason Momoa's stepdaughter.
which is I just found out this week, which is crazy. We're dabbling off again, which is fun. It's cool because I did not realize this until this week. But Jason Momoa, who plays Aquaman and is also Khal Drogo on
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones, is married to Lenny Kravitz's ex-wife.
Really?
And Zoe
Lisa
Kravitz's
Bonet.
mom, Lisa Bonet, who was on the Cosby Show. Correct.
And hopefully Bill Cosby.
But anyways, Zoe Kravitz, Lenny Kravitz, and
Who's playing the Penguin?
Lisa Bonet, Colin Farrell.
So do you think the Penguin? That's what I was going to ask. We're back there. Perfect. Do you think the Penguin is going to be more like the 1966 Penguin in this aspect, or do you think he's going to?
I don't think he's going to talk like a penguin at all.
I think he's
think
not
he's
going
gonna
to
be
little
like that
thing
at
on.
all.
You know, I don't think he's going to do that stuff.
So when you think of the Penguin though, because in the old movie, since there is a penguin in this new movie coming out, in the old movie, to me the Penguin is the one who had like the tricks and some of the muscle kind of in general.
Yeah.
So like I'm trying to just because then I think of the Penguin and he's like just
top
this
hat.
fat, but he is.
I think he's gonna be like a
balls.
rich-
Like this guy here.
He's gonna be like a circus guy.
Yeah.
You think he's gonna be like a circus
Well,
guy?
it could be.
Like,
Yeah.
like a ringleader of a circus.
Or he could have been a sideshow freak.
Nothing's come out. It's the the set pictures I've seen. It looks sort of dark.
Yeah, they're kind of trying to keep a lot of it
Man,
under
I
wraps
should have.
on
I
some
should
of
have.
that
I'm
stuff.
going to talk out of my ass here about this next guy because I'm not sure that I'm 100% correct, but I think I am.
Andy Serkis is playing.
No, hold on. Paul Dano is playing the Riddler.
Who's Paul
And
Dano? I'm not
he's in There Will Be Blood. I think he plays like the.
It says Edward Nash.
Oh, is he the guy that
Riddler.
played the? He played the son in Aliens versus Cowboys.
Yes,
I know who you're
Paul
talking about. Yeah,
Dano.
yeah, I know
He's
who
sort
you're
of a
talking about. Yeah.
sadistic type
Yeah, I
character
know
type
who he's
guy.
talking
He's
He
about.
playing.
can
There
actually-
is a Riddler in this. See?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that's
him,
right.
Paul
Yeah,
Dano.
that's
See,
him,
is
yeah.
he on There Will Be Blood down there? He
Yeah,
plays
he
like
was.
a crazed preacher,
That's from Will Be
young
Blood right
preacher,
there.
and he's trying to get Daniel Day-Lewis in There Will Be Blood to stop.
Yeah, he's in Cowboys versus Aliens.
He was also in 12 Years a Slave, I
If you haven't
think.
seen that, that's a good movie.
12 Years a Slave, is that on his thing?
Probably.
sure
Yeah,
it
right
is,
there.
yeah.
12 years
Yeah.
a slave.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Yep. Paul Dano's playing him. Andy Serkis is. You said it, and I'm like,
Sorry.
hold on. But Andy Serkis is playing Alfred Pennyworth, so I'm excited to see.
Andy
because,
Serkis is Gollum.
Yeah, but he's also. But remember, he was Killmonger in.
Oh, he's huge.
In Black Panther, and he's the swole bad guy.
He's got the
With the
weird.
weird arm.
with the
Yeah,
weird
the
arm.
white guy.
That is him, same guy. Dude, so I think he's going to be the badass Alfred Pennyworth, like in Gotham, the TV show.
So
I
we
think
have
he's going to
a-
have part in training.
Yeah, because he
Robert Pattinson's
Gotham, the guy.
character.
But you
I don't
told
think
me
he's
it's
going to
him.
be the old Butler type guy. I don't see him being the old Butler
Yeah.
type guy, but I'm excited to see him in that.
Here's a Falcone.
John Turturro's playing him, the guy from Mr. Deeds. Very, very sneaky, sir.
Oh, that guy is.
He's playing Turturro, but have you seen him in? He's in Hidden Gems. Did you watch Hidden Gems?
I haven't
watched
watched
it.
it.
Yeah, you gotta watch it. He's in
Haven't
that.
seen
He,
that.
he can play a mean son of a bitch if he has to. So I'm excited to see him as the gangster lord. And then Jeffrey Wright, the guy from Hunger Games, is playing Commissioner Gordon.
Which one's Jeffrey
in it.
Wright?
The black guy that played one of the. Was he? He wasn't a designer. Lenny Kravitz was the
Okay.
designer. What did he? He was one of the not the game makers, but you know him.
Oh, he's actually, I know exactly his, and this is where I'm good. I can't remember his name, obviously, but he is one of the intelligent ones that use the coil.
Oh yes,
and
he is in the game with
he's
them.
in the game.
That's right.
He's the,
the one that breaks
smart one.
He's the one that breaks the
He's
dome.
the one that makes the electricity or whatever.
That
hooked
breaks
to
the
thing.
dome.
Yep, that's
Correct. In the best book, the second one.
Dude, I read that book in like one day flat. I'm pretty sure.
I remember that time
That
period.
was crazy.
Yeah,
I'm kind
Jeffrey
of getting
Wright.
it. I'm more excited about wanting to see it than I was.
I'm
for
thinking
sure.
now. I'm,
Cast is great.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Once again, I'm going back to the original movie because I just watched it.
Yeah,
and
it's
it
fine.
clicks in your brain. They had the 4 bad guys.
Yeah.
They had.
Oh, it's got him. It's got
It
him.
has them all. The same
Except
ones.
the
except for the
Joker.
Joker. That's what I'm
Maybe they just hadn't announced that the Joker's
Yeah.
in it yet.
Except, but
That'd be
it's the
sick.
same ones. That's what makes me think
So
that it's going
Catwoman's
to
in
be.
it?
Well, I was gonna
Catwoman
say
is
Who is
Selena
that?
Kyle. It's Zoe Kravitz.
Zoe
who
Kravitz.
was
Oh,
in
Zoe
the
Kravitz.
Flash.
You told me that. You told me that.
And then
that
Oswald
down.
Cobblepot of the Penguin is Colin Farrell. And then we got Falcone, who's in
Yeah,
there.
John Turturro.
Movie too.
Yeah.
And then we got the Riddler. That's what I'm saying. So it's gonna
Yeah.
be.
So what I was
gonna
gonna say
be-
earlier,
yeah, it's
I was
pretty
gonna
good.
say earlier, I didn't get to finish saying it, but HBO Max is doing rumored. Once it's rumored on the internet nowadays, I sort of believe it when it
Yeah.
comes to that type of stuff. But apparently they're doing a Ben Affleck and Jared Leto movie for HBO Max, like a
Really?
true Batman Joker movie with those two from that thing.
Well,
I,
see, I
I
don't
didn't really
think-
care for Jared Leto as the Joker. They didn't use
Yeah,
him
that
enough.
when
They
he
didn't
Well,
was
I heard
use
there's a
him
debate
enough.
going on now, though, and they're not going to use Leto, and they're about to just
Suicide
shut Leto
Squad,
out.
For the
I wasn't a
Justice
big
League
fan
movie,
of
he's
it.
not going to be in it.
Oh, I don't know about just. I was hearing that they.
He has to.
Who? Ben
What-
Affleck.
Isn't that what the Joker was in? Was Justice League? No, he was just in
No.
Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
But
was
I've
in it. He
heard
wasn't
that
in
they're-
Justice League.
Leto was
Oh, that's
all
right,
mad.
that's
I
right,
was
that's
reading
right.
one thing. I can't
But
remember.
Justice
They're
League,
basically
that's weird.
shutting him out as the Joker.
See, that's how bad that was. I don't even remember Justice League. That's crazy. They should. He wasn't very good.
2021. It says October 1st.
The bearded artist. I'm gonna shout this guy out real quick.
Yeah.
Derek Clark, the guy that came and stayed with Derek, that was at the show me and Dad went to.
Yeah,
What was it?
pretty awesome.
What show was that? Walker
Fan-
Stalker.
Fanboy.
Fanboy
Walker
Walker
Stalker,
Stalker. It was
same
sort of
thing.
like a. I went with Dad because the people that were there and they had a cool tattoo convention
Yeah,
going on too.
we
But
were
it
looking.
was
I
mainly
was
for
gonna get a
like
tattoo.
Walking Dead. There was a lot of Walking Dead people there, but where was I going?
They're people from Arrow. I like Arrows.
Where was I going, Dad? What was I just talking about?
No
I
idea.
lost complete train of thought. Yeah, where were we at?
We were talking about Batman.
Obviously.
You said where were we at? Walker,
The Batman. I
Stalker,
said
and-
October
No.
1st, 2021. Walker,
Was it someone we
Stalker.
saw there?
No,
We
yeah.
saw Cyborg.
Well,
got to
what?
play
Who
Cyborg.
were we talking about right before that?
You were talking.
How do we all go brain
We
dead at
said
the same
Andy
time?
Serkis. We were talking about
No,
the
we were
characters.
past
The
that.
guy who played the Riddler. Is that the guy y'all ran off on?
We're talking about Jared Leto no longer playing the Joker is
the
what we were
Joker.
talking about, and then we went somewhere from
And
there.
you said it has to be
I completely lost
Justice
my train of
League.
thought.
Then you said the ones from Suicide Squad. And then you're like, wasn't he the one?
I guess wasn't that important. I'll listen back and know.
Then he'll
Every time I got to say something,
he'll put a footnote at the end.
Yeah.
We actually did get to
I'm
see
lost. I don't know,
Superman. What's his name? Brandon Rouse or Roth. He was at it.
And that wasn't a very
looked
good
like a little
Superman movie
girl.
either. That's what the
But it kinda
Batmobile looks like in the new one.
Oh yeah, it's going to be more of a car than a fancy Batmobile.
Dang man, I hate I lost train of thought right there.
Well,
I was
if
going
you've
somewhere
seen the
with that,
suit,
man.
one
I
of
don't
the
know what I was
big
talking about.
rumors is that if you look at his emblem on his chest, and you had a picture on there, I think, or on there, yeah, is a picture, and you'll see on Batman's chest of the bat emblem. It's more of a mechanical looking thing. But anyway, the rumor has it it's like the handles of the gun from the gun that kills his parents. He put that in his chest thing, and it's also doesn't have ears like the bat. And the reason why they said they did that is because the original Batman in the comic series came out and just had wings. It wasn't like the ears and all of that. So they're kind of going the throwback to the original type
I
stuff.
think it's going to
So
be more like that the more than
it's
I'm
going to be
thinking about it,
cool.
since it
And
has
like
those
Kyle
same
said, he
villains.
thinks they're going to, what you're seeing and is being leaked is like the first way he's going to look, but he thinks he'll evolve.
Bob Kane is
Maybe
on
that's
here
right.
as a writer.
Well, it's probably based on that original
Bill
story.
Who's directing it?
Matt Reeves.
Pull up what he's done. Driver? Did he do the Driver? I think,
It's coming.
which was the
Yeah.
one.
We're in the basement. It's kind of slow. I've seen that guy.
Might be wrong.
Known for
Oh,
Let
Rise of
Me
the Planet of the
In,
Apes.
Dawn, yeah, all the
that's
Planet of the
right.
Apes
I thought it was
stuff.
Cloverfield.
Yeah. Not a whole lot.
That's
of them,
right.
but-
That's right. I forgot I looked him up. I'm excited for that. I think it's going to be pretty good.
See right there, that's the emblem I was
yeah,
talking
I see.
about.
That stuff is actually
Oh,
happening.
that does look like the handgun.
Yeah, that's the speculation that people have been putting on the web that I saw that they were talking about.
I don't know, I just want to know if the Joker or whoever became the Joker, whoever has actually killed Bruce Wayne's parents.
According to the original Batman with him, it was
did.
Jack Napier. Because you remember he's because it shows the guy and he's whatever, and I think he thinks that's who it was, Jack Napier, that killed him. But then in the other one with Christian Bale, it's somebody
Some
else.
just random homeless guy.
Yeah,
it
somebody
looks like.
else that does it. But yeah, I think that's how they portray it in the Jack Nicholson scenario. Because when you look at the guy, he's got those Jack Nicholson eyebrows, he does, type of stuff. So I think that's how they portrayed it in that movie, that he thought it was.
Yeah.
And Jack Napier is the Joker.
And then he says something about if you ever dance with the devil in the pale moonlight.
Yeah,
That's right,
that's,
then he
that's
says
his
it
again.
famous.
Whack, and then he pops him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like his famous
yeah, it's his famous saying.
quote.
Yeah.
Is there anything else, man?
Not that I can think of, dude. I wish I could remember what I was talking about because it was something. Why would I bring up Walker Stalker? It's driving me crazy.
I don't
can't
even know what
remember I
Walker
was talking
Stalker
about.
is, though, man.
It's
It's kind of a Comic-Con thing.
Literally
It's just
Comic-Con.
where
And I
people
was
get
talking
together.
About, I can't remember what I was talking
Jeff,
about.
was it
Why
about
were we
Jeffrey
there?
D. Morgan again? Because he was there.
We were just talking about Hunger Games. I have no idea, man.
Yeah,
I don't
Hunger
know.
Games.
That's
and-
crazy.
Remember
We
went to
talked. We
Walker
went
Stalker?
from Ernest to
We went
Batman
everywhere.
to Walker Stalker.
To Van
But we need to
Damme,
do
to everything.
What we need to do, man, is after we hit the record button off, we just need to do a video and just kind of just show all the Batman stuff.
Yeah, I
and then
will,
I'll
for
post
sure.
that video later. But I appreciate everybody listening. And
Yeah, it was
Father's
fun.
Day, was that fun? You're our
Yeah,
first
had a good time.
Well, second guest, but
The first dad.
First dad, for sure.
Yeah,
First
one of our dads for sure. Yeah, Derek was on there.
And our
Either
first
dad.
remote Dabble.
Yeah.
Dabble number 8.
We're gonna have to step up our backdrop.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I sort of like our simple single
but
movie.
I mean, this right here, we appreciate you having us down
Sure,
here
sure.
and seeing everything.
Again,
we'll
Kyle's mom
come
didn't
back.
like the fact we were going to be down here.
That's
'cause
fine.
She said,
And we talked about a lot of stuff, but like, there's a lot of stuff we didn't talk about.
Yeah, there's a bunch of
besides
stuff.
Batman that my dad's into, like a lot of stuff.
I
He
know.
draws. I mean, he's into a lot of stuff. So I will have him more
right
he'll
in
be
our
back.
niche.
Hopefully we're gonna have my brother soon also.
But I want
one
to
of our
ask
dads,
real quick before we go,
Mike,
just
but-
because I am amazing here, and we know that I got some toys here that know that your dad's on another level of me. But what is your favorite Batman piece?
Probably the one you gave away to Johnny, huh?
well, yeah, I had a die cast of this one, and actually I gave it to
True
my
metal, like
half brother. It was nice.
big, that same size.
but this one's probably got to be it right there. The
Right.
'Cause it does
Yeah.
it does everything, right? I think those little things open up on the front with the missiles.
yeah,
coming out
they
and everything,
flip.
Tyler.
Yeah,
The original Michael Keaton.
because that one there, I think I got that for like $25. And if you look online, these things are selling for over 100 and some odd bucks.
Yeah, you should have
But
kept it in
this-
the box. My dad can't
that-
stand it.
Well, I mean,
Oh,
if
yeah,
you
it does.
can't,
Yeah, the guns
if you
flip
can't,
over.
I didn't want to touch it.
if you
so.
can't enjoy stuff, what's the use of
Yeah,
doing
no,
it?
you're right. You're right. I'm glad. I'm
And
glad
again,
you took
what's going to be fun one day is dividing this up against the kids, which it'll be fun until they start fighting over it,
and
so-
all this stuff will be destroyed.
Yeah, well, that's why it waits till they're
Yeah,
older,
till
and
they're older
hopefully
and
maybe they can
appreciate it.
appreciate it and
Yeah, oh yeah.
want to do whatever.
I mean, you got a
so-
lot of Batmans in here. I mean, we're gonna definitely do a video at the end because I'm sure everyone want to see it. I might keep it a secret.
Yeah,
for a day
we'll
or two.
move the chairs and
I might ask for your email to make you see it for the first week.
yeah, it's a fans only type video.
Yeah,
no, not
but
really.
anyway,
We'll post it.
yeah, for sure.
Hopefully on the video.
But yeah, I mean, I like to.
I had
collect
one more
anything
question.
that's
Like, you got a nice drawing back here. Is this just by somebody that you met, like at a Comic-Con?
We actually,
or-
I saw this, and it was just a cool drawing, so I kind of bought it from him. So,
Got it. I mean, just so
Yeah,
you
there's
know,
this
like,
card
we-
on
we
there.
talked to
There's
a
this card on
real
it.
person who knows about Batman.
Yeah.
so that
You know what I mean?
I mean, this is an original hand drawing from the guy. He's not. I don't think he's famous or anything, but it's pretty awesome looking. So I just said I'll pay you for it.
Something else cool when I came in here was like I remember playing just as a kid like this. I don't know if I can point up here.
You can take
or
it
not.
down.
We'll video it.
it's
I'll
up
put
in
it on the video.
All right, you put on a video, but like this is like a Gotham race. Like this is one of the coolest things I've ever seen in my entire life. I
Yeah,
would
it's
be playing that.
that's called.
The only thing
what are
is
those called?
the cars don't
track?
work worth the crap, and they're right here somewhere.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
cool.
What's that called with the metal
It's like a slot car.
slot car racetrack? Yeah.
they
Yeah,
have,
some.
these
I
have,
think
like,
these the motors and stuff are bad. I think there's a place up here in White House that has slot
There's a
cars.
slot
I
car
could
place
probably,
across
I wonder
from
if they-
Pizza
I could
Pub.
probably take these and get them fixed or something.
I don't know
Find
that they
somebody
deal
who
with
can do
those
that.
type, but you
Well,
probably
I'm
someone
sure
in
they
there.
know
Someone in there
someone.
probably knows for sure.
thing.
You
But
got
anyways,
the top you got a trifold back
Yeah.
there. We're gonna do a
Well,
video.
it's sad. I
This
wore.
is
I
probably
wore.
the cheapest thing I got. And the only reason I got it is the guy was selling these on the beach in Mexico. You know,
that's funny.
and it had a parachute. But I said, hey, this came from Mexico.
That's funny. But Dabble 8, pretty good one. I didn't. I probably should have done a Mamba mentality since it was number 8, but I did wear the Mamba shirt.
Yeah.
We did Batman. We dabbled with my dad. Who knows where we'll go next time.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening. Comment,
Thank
like, subscribe if you're not subscribed.
At
If you're
Dabbling
listening,
Dads.
if you are listening on Apple iTunes, if you could just jump over to YouTube and subscribe to us. I think that's the best way to watch it personally. Especially this one. If you're listening to this one, you should watch it because we show a lot of stuff in the camera really, but just the backdrop's different. It's a little different.
Yeah, the link is on there.
The link will be on there. That's all I got.
Thanks for coming again.
Appreciate
Did you
it.
have fun?
Thanks. Yeah, it was good. Good.
Until next time. Peace.
Hasta la vista.